I was the one that was the victim.
When you call yourself a victim, the only victim in this case
is the little girl.
A decade-long family tragedy unfolds because a young mother can't cope.
A child is not a piece of meat.
I had no Christmas visitations with her, no holidays, nothing. There was a lot of trauma and turmoil over this whole thing.
Dio is suing her aunt, 43-year-old Vicki Hopkins. Marnie claims that Vicki agreed to adopt her daughter 9 years ago, but the adoption never actually took place. Now the state is coming after Marnie for back child support, and she wants her aunt to pay.
Especially for an innocent child who is now 10?
9.
9. Miss Castillo, you present to me a very unique cause of action, one that I have not seen before in my 25 years. You are suing the defendant for what appears to be a failed adoption of your child.
Yes.
You were a teenager, you had a child out of wedlock.
That's true.
And the defendant is your aunt.
That's true.
Briefly, she and her husband agreed to take custody of this child. She says because the child wasn't being cared for properly as an infant. Is that right?
That's right. That's not true.
Well, she'll tell me about that. There came a point when you said that you would adopt, or to at least take custody of this child and perhaps adopt her when she was an infant.
Right.
How old?
She was 14 months old.
And for that first 14 months, she had lived with her mother?
Off and on, she lived with Marnie. She visited with me from the time she was 2 weeks old, off and on.
Visited. Visited you, not lived with you.
Miss Castillo, I would suggest that you not be hostile.
I'm sorry.
In any event, the child's now 9 years old. And what this is all about is, for one reason or another, which I find very interesting in here, this adoption did not take place. You did not adopt this child with your husband. And the child at some point was being supported by the taxpayers.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
And the state has come against you
Yes, that's true.
for back child support.
Yes.
So you are suing your aunt because she didn't adopt your daughter, and therefore you're stuck paying the child support. That's what this case is about.
That's basically, yes, what it's about.
Your Honor, can I say something? We were going to adopt this little girl because the father was named unknown in the whole beginning of everything.
I have all the paperwork here.
Miss Castillo,
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Don't interrupt.
Okay.
Up until these final papers were sent to us, everything was going according to plan.
How old was the child at that point?
She was 14 months old. We got a letter and some papers sent to us from Don Smith, which was handling the adoption, showing that Fillmore Hostler was Marley's father that Marnie had named. He was Native American. We were told in the beginning it was a good thing this little girl's father wasn't Native American. It would have to be okayed by the tribe.
Okay, let me go back so that we all, put your hand down, so that we all understand each other. Can I see those papers, please? When a child is the child, at least in a certain amount of blood lineage of an American Indian, under the U.S. Code, all the states have agreed that whatever dealings involve that child by way of custody or adoption, the tribe, the native tribe, has first crack at trying those cases or at dealing with the adoption because they feel as if the tribe wants to hold on to whatever children that they have rather than allow the state to be involved. So that is the law. You are quite correct. Now, did you name someone at any point, Ms. Castillo, as the father of this child?
Not at the birth, but during the rundown on the adoption with Don Smith, yes, I did name the real father.
Okay.
And
now, the real father that you named was a person who was an American Indian.
He was half, and I also have papers stating that it says Caucasian with his name on it, with their signatures on it.
If he is half American Indian, then the tribe has the right to deal with the adoption. If you had wanted them to adopt this child with ease and let it go through, why at the time that they filed the papers did you name, when you first said, I don't know who the father is, why did you then name somebody who was an American Indian as the father?
He was her father, and at the time, was telling the honest truth. I wanted the best for my little girl.
Just a second.
I did want the best for her.
Miss Castillo, then if he was the father, that means that you lied at the beginning when you said you didn't know who the father was.
I never had told that I didn't know who the father was. I just didn't sign the birth certificate with any father's name on it. I never told them that I didn't know who the father was. Personally, I didn't tell anybody who the father was. It was no one's business. I didn't know what I was doing as an 18-year-old giving birth to a little girl. I didn't know that that's right.
Then somebody else was named as the father.
She named that person on the papers. It asked in the DA's papers who you have slept with in the last 5 months. The person she's pushing for the child support was named because I was dating him in June.
Just a second. Just a second. She can't name somebody else as the father.
She named them because he was on the DA's papers stating that I slept with him in June. So since she considered that as a person to go for the back child support, she pushed it.
Just a minute. She's not suing you for back child support, Miss
No,
Castillo.
but
Hey! She's not suing you for child support. The state is suing you for the money that the taxpayers paid out for your daughter.
I understand that, but she also told my mother on a phone conversation, why should Marnie have to pay for it and let the father pay for it? And Evan Duke looks like her father, and she looks like Linda Evans, the mother.
Why don't you take a blood test?
We have taken a blood test. It hasn't came back yet.
Oh, baloney.
It has not. The blood tests were just barely taken 3 weeks ago.
At age 9?
At age 9 years old. This only has been coming about just this year.
If the person that you say she named as the father...
He's not.
Is not...
Excuse me, ma'am. He's not the father, though.
Then the blood test will establish
That's true.
that.
That is very true.
Then you will totally be responsible for the child support.
Totally be responsible for a breach of contract agreement?
There is no... Madam, let me explain something to you. A child is not a piece of meat.
I didn't think it was a piece
No,
of
a
meat.
child is not a piece of meat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know what? I went through a lot of trauma and turmoil over this whole thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In this unusual custody case, Vicki Hopkins is being sued by her niece, Marnie Castillo, after caring for her daughter for many years. Marnie says she thought her aunt adopted her daughter 9 years ago and was shocked to find out that the adoption never went through. Now the state wants Marnie to pay back child support, but Marnie feels her aunt should pay.
I understand that this child at some point went back to you.
Yes.
Is that just... Yes. When did the child come back to you?
When my aunt had had surgery and she got on all kinds of medication, my uncle thought it was a better idea for her to come back to the mother. Since I had been previously on drugs and on alcohol, I do admit to that, yes. But it took me a long journey to get where I am today. And the child was in the best interest with them. But they always led me to believe she was adopted to them, and I was never an absent parent. That's why I'm angry about the child support. I never had proper visitations. I had no clue she wasn't adopted until 1994 on Easter, when my aunt and I got into a fight during Easter. She left me at our family function. I had to find my own ride home that time. When I got back, the DA had sent me papers saying I owed this back child support. But the fact of what I'm here to argue is they never let me have anything to do with her. And if I was an absent parent, I should have had paternal rights. I should have been notified that they had never adopted her. And nothing. I was never adopted.
Are you saying to me, Miss Castillo, that your aunt and uncle prevented you from seeing this little...
Yes, they did, ma'am. They did.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't cut me off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Are you saying that your aunt and uncle didn't let you see your daughter?
Yes, I'm telling you that.
Is that true?
No, that's not
That
true.
is true, and you know it.
In the very
and
beginning,
you moved away
when
from
Marley
her.
first
You moved
came
away.
to
And
us-
I
You're
could never
irritating
see her.
me. If you irritate me again,
sorry.
I'm going to
I
dismiss your
understand.
case.
Okay.
Good.
In the beginning, when Marley first came to stay with us, for her to bond with my husband, my daughter, and myself, she was going through an emotional time, up in the night crying, couldn't figure out where her mother was at. I asked Marnie not to come to visit for at least the first 6 months
3 years.
so she could bond with us.
3 years.
I told
me.
you.
I'm
I
sorry,
told you
ma'am.
one more time, and you're out of here. You got it?
Yeah.
One more time. Be careful, because I mean it. Go ahead.
This happened. After the first 6 months, Marnie was allowed to visit with Marley.
Sure.
I never heard from Marnie very much. Marnie would call, and I would talk to her, and I would tell her how Marley was doing. I told her the adoption had stopped because she had named Fillmore as the father, and I said, I can't have this little girl ripped out of my arms into a strange people's place when this little girl is emotional already. And Marnie was told that on the phone a number of times. Even Marnie's mother, which is my sister, was told this. My sister was very upset with Marnie for doing that. And she made the comment, if this little girl...
Don't tell me what, what your
Anyway,
sister
the
said.
whole thing boiled down to, after the first 6 months, Marley bonded with us, and everything became much better in the household. Marnie was allowed to see her whenever she wanted.
How often did she, in fact, come?
Marnie very seldom contacted or called us. Unless Marnie was fighting with one of her boyfriends, then she would call us on the phone and talk to me to come and help her get her out of a situation with one of the boyfriends. Of course, I lived away from her, couldn't do anything about it. So, other than the phone calls, there was nothing I could do. Marnie was always welcome to come see that child.
Ms. Hopkins, at what point did you return the child to her mother?
I returned Marley in May of 1996.
Why?
My husband and I had discussed it. My sister told Marley who her real mother was on a visit one weekend. And when she brought her back, she says to me, "Oh, by the way, I told Marley who her real mother is." I was just devastated. We were waiting to tell her when the time was right.
So she had been with you for 8 years
For
at that
8
point.
years, and we were waiting to tell her who her real mother was. But my sister brought it upon herself to do it. After that, things started
What's wrong
to
with your
change.
sister?
I love her, but people do their own thing. And so
what happened?
after that, Marley wanted to be around Marnie because she felt this bond with her. She asked me, "Mom, why did Marnie keep Tristano and give me away?" I said,
You mean she has another child?
"Yes."
How old is the other child?
2, I guess.
2?
2.5.
And I said, "Honey, you'll have to ask Marnie that because I can't answer your question."
When she had come to see or had seen the little girl, how was she introduced to her during these 8 years?
She called Marnie Rui and Rue all the time. And that's what she addressed her as.
Okay.
Until my sister told her who her real mother was. And I told Marley, I said, "If you want to call her Mom, that's up to you, Marley."
What had she called you?
She calls me Mom, she calls my husband Dad, and she calls my oldest daughter Sister.
Okay. So what happened to propel the child from your home to their home?
So after that, with Marley being curious and wanting to be around her little brother and be around her real mother, I talked to my husband one evening and I said, "What would you do if Marnie asked for Marley to come back to her?" He said, "Well, would that be so bad?" He said, "Would giving Marnie a second chance at being a mother be really bad?" He said, "She is doing good now," and he said, "Not a lot of people get a second chance." So the both of us decided that would be okay. And we talked to Marnie, and that's how she ended up going back. I called 2 or 3 times a day, upset and checking on the little girl. I did go through a nervous breakdown the whole year of letting her go, wondering if it was the right thing. I do now know that it wasn't the right thing. And Marnie had her 2 months, sent her to her mother, which is my sister. I called and I said, "Can I talk to Marley? She's outside playing." I called 3 or 4 times, the same answer. Finally, Marnie said, "Well, she's at my mom's." I thought she was there on a visit. Come to find out, Marnie had sent her there permanently. The little girl is still now with my sister. In the beginning, my sister and I had problems, and I said, "The little girl should have been sent back to us, not to you. Why did you guys do this to us?" And I literally had a breakdown over it. My husband called Marnie and said, "Why didn't you guys send this little girl home?"
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What about the fact that your daughter is my dad's real daughter, Vicky, huh? What about that fact? You're my aunt and my cousin is my sister. What about that one?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In this bizarre child custody case, Marnie Castillo feels her aunt, Vicky Hopkins, should be responsible for paying back child support for Marnie's daughter.
Why did
there
you send
now.
her to your mother's house?
My aunt knew we lived in a very small...
Why did you send her to your
I
mother's
lived
house?
in a studio apartment, my husband, I, and my son. My aunt told me if I didn't take her in May that it wouldn't be a good thing for her to go back. So
You mean because of school?
But there was no room in this house for her. She had her own things, her own bedroom, and we had no room at the time.
Just a second.
We
Miss
were
Castillo, did you tell your aunt when you spoke to her, before your daughter was moved to your house, "I can't take her now"?
Yes.
Just a second.
I
"I
did.
cannot take
It's
her
too
now. I have
small."
no room."
Yes, I did say
Did
that.
she say that to you?
No, ma'am. I would have
Yes.
never, ever.
Oh,
Can I
please,
address
Miss
her?
Castillo.
Can I address
You
her,
are
please?
so full of baloney that
No,
you
I'm
told
not,
this
ma'am.
lady who had parented a
This
child
is my
for 8
husband
years.
who's a witness. He was there during the conversation.
place was
She
too
came
small.
to our house to see how big
This
it was.
action was forced upon Marnie. I asked her, can she wait till we get a bigger place, something. I could foresee the problems happening. The child was used to her own room, bigger things. All we had was this little small apartment. It was very difficult.
So who did you tell that to?
My aunt.
No! You listen to me. Who did you tell that to, sir?
I explained this to my wife.
I'm not interested whether you explained it to your wife. I'm interested in... I don't believe that she told her aunt.
I did.
Oh, I don't believe you,
I
madam.
overheard it on the phone conversation.
I don't believe you. Sit down. I don't believe you. Because I don't believe that this
Ma'am,
lady
can
who
I
had
address you,
parented a
please?
child... Hey,
Please, can I state something? You know what? I went through a lot of trauma and turmoil over this
you
whole
caused...
thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
I didn't cause anything. My aunt is putting on a melancholy act here. I was the one that was the victim. They only agreed to take her if it was on adoption terms. Yes, I was having problems, but maybe I could have gone. I went to drug treatment. They moved away when I was in drug treatment. I had no clue where they were. I was trying to get my life together, and they moved away. I didn't get in contact with the little girl again until she was 3 years old. I had no Christmas visitations with her, no holidays, nothing. My aunt's leading you to believe that she's the victim. She was never the victim in this. I and my little girl both were a victim. I was 18 years old, didn't know what I was doing. I asked them for help. They were like my parents to me. I believed
May
everything.
I see the bill, please, for the
The
state
bill is
says
right
that
here,
you
and
owe
all
them.
the adoption paper stuff is
Can
here,
I
ma'am.
see what the bill is that the state says that you owe them?
I'm sorry to get angry, but this hurts me. I've gone through a lot with this, and my aunt didn't go through anything
Past due.
except last year,
Past due.
the nervous breakdown, if she even did.
4530.
She
Miss
constantly
Castillo,
called.
Miss Castillo, it's too bad that you have 2 children. Not 1, but 2.
I do have
Because
2.
when you, it's too bad you have any. Because when you call
That is a
yourself a
cruel thing to
victim,
say. That's a
when
cruel
you
thing to
call,
say to me.
when you call yourself a victim, the only victim in this
Is
case,
the little girl.
that's right. You caused it. Your irresponsibility caused it. Your drug problem caused it. Your drug rehabilitation caused it. These people didn't need an additional responsibility. They took on that responsibility because of a problem, a mess you created. You compounded it. You compounded it by naming someone as the father of this child who precluded them, without a great deal of hassle, from going through with an adoption. At some point, your mother told this little girl at age 8 and a half
That has nothing to do with me.
told her that she was not her mother, that you were the mother. That's very confusing. I don't know where your sister went to psychiatry school, but she probably got it in some thing where you read behind it in a magazine, because she's not a very intelligent woman, clearly not an intelligent woman. Ultimately, the only one who suffered emotionally, who's an innocent, is your daughter. Next in line are these people, and way down the pike are you.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
This case has to do with money. And the only issue is whether I'm going to tell this lady that she's got to pay $4,300, or I'm going to tell you that you got to pay $4,300, which is the amount that was paid as enforced support by the state over an 8-year period. 8 years. So I guarantee you that this lady and her husband paid a lot more to raise this child for 8 years than $4,300. Guaranteed. Because if you figure that out on a weekly basis, you pay more to take care of a goldfish. That is the difference that the state had to pick up. You, madam, this is your problem. You're responsible for this money. You pay it. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I hate you, you know that?
Is this yours? Out the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I had no clue I was an absent parent. I thought they adopted her. I agreed up on all their terms to only visit when they said.
That's not true.
That
I
is
called
true.
her right after I got the papers that
No,
Fillmore
you did
was
not
her father.
call me. I was in a drug
and told
treatment. Didn't
her
know where you were, lady.
that
Didn't know
she
where
just
you were.
stopped the case because it would have to go through the tribe.
What about the fact that your daughter is my dad's real daughter, Vicky, huh? What about that fact? You're my aunt and my cousin is my sister. What about that one? You don't want to bring the dirty laundry on this air? Your daughter is my sister, which is my cousin.
Frank is 70, Christina 33. It was a May-December romance doomed from the start.
Did you, at any time, discuss with him getting married?
He asked me to marry him so many times, I couldn't tell you.
And what did you say to him?
I said, no, I don't know you well enough. He could write me a check, and I could do whatever I wanted with it if he chose to give it to me.
Right, so you...
Husband, Russell Trombley, claiming he physically abused her throughout their marriage. Mr. Trombley's countersuit alleges that his wife has a drug problem and has neglected their daughter.
Order, all rise. Judge, it's number 159 on the calendar in the matter of Trombley versus Trombley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You two folks are married, in the process of getting a divorce. You've been married for 2 years. You have a 2-year-old child, Mrs. Trombley. I have your complaint. You are seeking $5,000 from your husband for emotional stress.
Yes, I am.
Well, I'd like you to tell me about it. You have a countersuit. I'll hear that in a minute. Go ahead.
Well, I'm really suing because he broke into my best friend's house.
I tell you,
Well, I was
this
there.
has nothing to do with your best friend's house. There's nothing in here in the complaint about
Well, he
your
broke
best
in there
friend's
and
house.
attacked me.
Well, let
That's
me hear
what brought
about it.
this complaint.
Let me hear about it. The attacking you is something else. Let me hear about the attacking you.
Once he entered the house,
Yeah.
he ran through the house and threw me against the wall and kicked me and then left with our daughter screaming in the living room.
What had precipitated this?
I hadn't come home the night before because...
Why not?
Because I was afraid of getting hit. And when I did come home in the morning, he raised his hand to me, and if he hadn't seen my friend, he would have hit me.
That's untrue. There was no threat of violence of her coming home at any point, ever. She was with her friend partying late into the night.
He says you do drugs, Mrs. Trombley, and that you depleted the bank account of your family, took checks out, forged checks, ran up bills, forced them into bankruptcy, all because you were doing drugs and staying out, partying with your friends, etc. Any of that true?
Some of it's true.
What's true?
I do have a past history of drug abuse.
We're not talking about past. We're talking about current.
No, I don't.
What makes you think she has a drug problem?
Oh, I have all kinds of ample evidence to prove that she has a drug problem. Just as of July 18th, I got a call from Burbank Police Department who had just arrested a drug dealer, stating that he had my calling card. I have here 12 pages of the calls that this man made with my calling card. Who was given...
Who is this man?
This man's name is nicknamed Morbid.
You know that person?
Yes, I do.
Well, what does he do for a living?
He deals drugs, right, Jen? He deals drugs.
What does he do for a living?
He doesn't really do much for a living.
He deals drugs. And this is Jen's main drug dealer. This is a man that she went to Mexico with.
While you were married?
What? Last month.
Is that right?
Yes.
Terrific.
My wife disappeared for 3 days on the premise that she was going to look for jobs. At 2 p.m., with no hassle, no fighting, we had made love in the morning. At 2 p.m., she said, I'm on my way to go put some applications in. I did not see my wife for 3 days, at which she had taken both sets of our car keys and left me in the care of our daughter. I have a full-time job. I had to take 3 days off from work. On the third day, risking financial ruin and losing my job, I had to take my 2-year-old daughter to work with me. No calls from my wife.
Does that sound familiar to you, Miss Trombley?
Yes, that's all true. And it was all because I was afraid to come home because he was hitting me.
Afraid to come home, so she takes a vacation with a drug dealer to Tijuana, Mexico.
Mr. Trombley,
Order.
let me tell you this, sir. Let me tell you this. I read your answer to her complaint. Her complaint is nonsense. I don't know whether you hit her when you got into the house.
I'll explain to you exactly the events preceding
Your
that
Honor,
incident.
Your Honor, we have 2 separate police reports for domestic violence.
We have
and a
one
restraining order
police
that was
report.
put on against him.
Was there
for
ever a
my
trial
protection.
on that restraining order?
Yes, there was.
And what happened to it?
And what happened to it?
Today, that case was settled and dropped, plead out.
What do you mean, settle, drop, plead out? What does that mean?
I pleaded no contest to 1 count of battery.
Does that have to do with this incident? That
It
they're
has to do with the incident where I pushed my wife away from a front door for not taking our personal life into a hallway.
Was
Let me-
that at her friend's house? Just a
Yes.
second.
Yes.
This is the incident at the friend's house.
Yes, let me...
Let me.
Yes, ma'am.
and I'll ask you to fill in so that there is some semblance here. According to your answer, she had gone over to her friend Lori's house, right? And this was after she had disappeared for a few days.
No, no, that's...
She had already disappeared. There were periods of time, according to your answer, sir, that she had left you in care to care for your daughter.
Yes.
And you were afraid that when she went to Lori's house and didn't come home right away, that she was going to do it again.
Well, let me explain a little bit earlier in the evening. It was that very morning that I was late for work. My wife came home at 6:30, where I would have had to have left at 10 of 6 to make it to work. She knows this. We've had many, many fights about it. It's when she showed up with Lori, I did go like this in anger, not to hit her, but just as a show. I'm this angry. How could you do this to me again? That very night, when I came home from work, Lori and Jen and Aubrey were there in the house. They said, we're going to take Aubrey out and get some shoes. They left. They came back at, I'm sorry, at 7:30 p.m. while I was watching TV. My daughter comes through the front door crying, but my wife did not come through the door. I opened up the front door, and my wife was at the bottom of the stairs and says to me, I'm going to the car for a minute. 5 minutes later, she didn't come back from the car, and the car was gone. It's at that time that I assumed she probably went back over to Lori's. I drove over there with my daughter, and that's where she was.
Well,
I found that that was kind of
if you
peculiar.
weren't screaming your head off.
I wasn't
Mr.
screaming at anything.
Mr. Trumbley.
Yes. May I continue?
No. Because while I can smell a drug problem from at least 15 feet away, and she has a drug problem.
Yes, that's true.
Based upon my assessment of her demeanor and based upon the things that she has said to me so far, I have some trouble with your response. And let me tell you why, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm just a hardworking guy. I have no record. I've never been expelled from school. I'm nothing but a decent guy that was raised the right way.
And later today,
You
So
came
that
in
means-
with your girlfriend, Christina,
Girlfriend?
who now lives with you,
Well,
who
I'm going to
is-
have him live with
who
me?
is your lover. Admit it, okay?
Okay.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Russell Trombley denies his wife Jennifer's allegations of abuse and claims she's guilty of neglecting their daughter.
You have a 2-year-old daughter. You say you know your wife has a current drug problem.
Yes.
If your wife has a current drug problem, I don't care what you have to do, you make sure that your wife is never left in charge of your child. You didn't do that. What you wanted her to do was to be around to take care of your daughter. Just a second. And I don't care if you have to get a babysitter. I don't care if you have to quit your job. I don't care what you have to do. You do not leave a drug user in charge of a 2-year-old baby, and I don't care if the drug user is your wife. Number one. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Number two. According to your answer, sir, you went over to the house, to this Lori's house, because you didn't want to be in the position again of having to look for somebody to take care of your daughter when you had to go to work the next morning and you had an early morning call. Is that right?
Yes. We've exhausted all of our daycare issues. My wife left our daycare with a $300 bill that we owed them.
Sir.
We had no one else. We have no
Sir,
relatives here.
So let me tell you this. There are many people, unfortunately, in your position whose mate, whether it be a husband or a wife, has a drug addiction problem. You're supposed to try to be supportive of each other if you can, but at that point, there is only one innocent. And that innocent is a child, especially a 2-year-old child that cannot protect herself. So at that point, you can't worry about her anymore. She's got a drug problem and hangs around with Mork or whatever his name is,
Morbid.
Dork. Those are the kind of people that you hang around with if you've got a drug problem.
That's all she hangs out with.
Drug dealers.
All drug dealers. That's
Fine.
everybody she knows.
Well, then, sir, if you allow your daughter to hang around with her and to hang around with drug dealers, then you are as guilty of neglect as she is. Do you understand me? In my eyes.
With all due respect, Judge,
Yeah.
these are events that have only come to my knowledge within the last couple of months. All of these things have been hidden and lied about.
Sir, during that time, during that couple of month period, you still left your daughter in your wife's care.
But I was only doing that on the premise that she was over at her friend's house. I didn't know that there was drugs involved at that
Tremblay,
night.
you can't have it both ways. We understand each other. You cannot have it both ways.
There was not at any point that I felt my daughter was in danger from
Well,
my
I'm
wife.
telling you that it's not true. What I'm telling you is, if you are mated to a drug user who cavorts with other drug users and abusers and dealers, you are a neglectful parent if you leave a 2-year-old child with her.
I was doing everything I could.
All right.
ma'am.
So, let me get to your cross complaint because I'm going to take care of this nonsense right away. You say that she spent a lot of your family money?
She spent all of our money.
Good. That's what happens. It's a very good idea for you to get out of this marriage, to take charge of your daughter, and to start building a life with her, if that's what you think that you can do. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's
Well-
everything I'm seeking and aiming for. But
Very good.
These are the events that handle our lives every day, though. While I'm trying to litigate this, I am being forced to move out of California, forced to give up my dreams, forced to give up my career.
That's very sad. You made a mistake. That's what happens when people make a
I
mistake.
made a grand mistake, and my plea-
That's what happens when you make a mistake.
I understand that.
Good.
But understand, Judge, that I have pleaded and begged my wife to get drug counseling, to stop fraternizing with these people.
This case is dismissed. The counterclaim is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right.
I want to get as far away from this woman as I can. I believe she's nothing but pure evil and will not help herself. I don't think there's any saving her.
And now the next case.
Parties on Silvas versus Boga. Step forward.
70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger, a woman he says was his lover and bride-to-be. According to Frank, when their plans to move in together fell through, Christina kept his furniture. But Christina says she and Frank were never boyfriend and girlfriend, and the furniture was a gift.
Mr. Silvas, according to your papers, sir, you are a recent widower.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were married to your wife for 45 years?
No, 41.
41 years. Shortly after her death, you met the defendant.
Right. But 18 months after.
And she was selling some sort of electrical
Well, the
bit?
night before I met her, somebody called the house was looking to make an appointment to sell mattresses. And I told the gentleman, says, I'm not going to buy one. He said, well, we got a new sales person. He didn't tell me it was a male or a female, you know.
Cut to the chase.
Okay.
She came to sell you a new mattress.
Right.
And according to your complaint, sold you a lot more.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I slept over there about three or four different times. In fact, we went to Laughlin. First time we went to Laughlin.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger because he claims she kept his furniture when their romance ended.
Over the course of several months,
Almost a year.
you gave her a lot of money.
Right.
According to your papers, gave her loans of over $30,000.
Right.
But you know that you can't get that here.
Right.
What you're suing for here is a return of your furniture.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
tell
Your
me how she came to have your furniture in her possession.
Okay, when her roommate moved out, I was supposed to, move in, see? So, I says, well, we'll take my furniture up there to sell my house. Then she kept putting the dates off,
What dates?
that I was supposed to move in. But prior to that, Your Honor, she said she would marry me.
Did you ask her to marry you?
Yes, and she kept putting that off.
Okay. So you asked her to marry you. When did you ask her to marry you?
Before the first of the year, first time.
And what did she say?
She says, I don't know you that good, let's wait a while.
So what happened? The romance is clearly over.
Well, I got evidence right here that really turned me off. She came into my house, took two blank checks and forged them. One for $1,000, one for $350. Then she came back into the house and grabbed those two checks and burned them up. That's what she told me, she burned them. But I got copies from the bank, and I got the police report on each one
When
of
do
them.
you say she did this?
I didn't find out about it till May, actually, Your Honor. and I got my bank statements.
How come he gave you this money?
Well,
I assume you're going to tell me he gave you the money.
yes, he plays a victim well. He was always there to be very helpful to me, and was there to volunteer anytime I needed something. We started up a business together. This money that he's talking about that he lent to me was based on this business we started together, and any money that he gave me was to help me get this business up and going, and he was, in return, got a percentage of this business.
Just a second, did he get anything in return?
Yes, when he was doing his job.
Just a minute, what did he get in return?
He got a percentage of the business, which was 10%.
How much does that translate to in cash?
About $600-700 in cash.
So he invested thousands and he got $600-700.
Let me explain something though. He stopped doing the business, and ultimately the business fell. It's not even in existence now because he wouldn't give me the information so I can continue to run this business. He kept it.
He gave you a lot of money, madam. I have checks here. A lot of money.
Okay.
A lot.
Your Honor, he's 69 years old. I'm 30. This man's got 45 years on me. He decides to give me money or do what he decides to do. You think he'd have... It's all been his choice. It's all been his choice from the beginning to do these things. Frank did everything...
Did you at any time discuss with him getting married?
No, he discussed it with me.
When for the first time?
He asked me to marry him so many times, I couldn't tell you. It was literally the first time, 60 days after I knew him, was the first time he asked me to marry him.
And what did you say to him?
I said, no, I don't know you well enough. And he was a heavy drinker, and I have a baby, and there's a big age difference. And I told him, I said, no, I think
a big age difference is 40 years. You know, a big age difference is 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. 40 years is a big age difference. Did you ever say to him, no, sir, you're too old and I'm not going to be involved with you romantically?
I never said he was too old. The age difference was a concern, but it was his drinking that was more of a concern to me.
But that didn't stop you from taking money from him.
For the business, we were business partners.
I'm not talking about the business. So far, the business he got a couple $100s from, if I believe you, and he put in thousands according to these checks. And it's not made out to a business. It's made out directly to you, and you cash the checks. It's not made out to a business account. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. But I'm telling you now, don't piddle on my leg and tell me it's raining, madam. I'm too smart for you. Do you understand? Do you understand? If you took money from him because he was prepared to give it to you and you were prepared to take it, that's one thing. He's not suing you for the money. Yet. So don't give me any baloney about business. Business checks, if they're made to a business, they're put in a business name. Your business, I assume, had a name. Right? Mm-hmm. What was the name of the business?
Weber Banks and Associates.
So if he was lending money to the business, it would have been business checks, not payable to you.
Okay, when I came to him and discussed certain things with him, he was there to help me. He said, whatever you need, I'm here to help you. I asked him what he wanted in return. He said, just to be close to you, to be your friend. And I said, that was fine. He could write me a check, and I could do whatever I wanted with it if he chose to give it to me.
Right, so you used them. Now, let's talk about the furniture.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I want to know if the following things are in your home, madam. Butcher block.
Pardon me?
Show this to her, please. Are those things in your home?
Yes, they are.
Good. Can I have it, please? Court will draft an order that within 3 days of today, all those items will be picked up and returned to Mr. Silvas. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. All of them. And they better be in the same condition that they were when he gave them to you. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excuse, you may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy.
Was
you
in my
used
driveway.
this guy, okay? He was in love with you, and you used him.
I used him, right?
Okay?
But he'll never tell
and you.
guys.
Your lover move in
You're right.
with you.
You know what? You're all right.
Whose
Just
bed are
report.
you sleeping in, Christina?
This has nothing. This
Okay.
doesn't. My God, you
That's
guys
all I wanna
you guys
say.
are petty.
I slept over there about three, 4 different times. In fact, we went to law firm. First time we went to law firm.
when we got married, he knew full well that I was pregnant. He said that he would take care of the child. That's why my son is named after him.
When Mario met Danielle, she told him she was pregnant, but he says she didn't tell him the whole truth.
So the person that she told you raped her was somebody that you now believe she just went to bed with?
Yes, ma'am.
So that made you mad?
Hurt him.
During their 3-year marriage, Danielle claims Mario left her to raise their 3 children on her own. But Mario says he's not the father of Danielle's kids and owes her nothing.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 148 on the calendar in the matter of Thomas versus Thomas. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You folks are married and are in the process of divorcing. There are a couple of issues that you raised, Mrs. Thomas. First, you raised the issue of some credit card bills that you say your husband owes you.
Yes, ma'am.
And second, you say that you are suing him for pain and suffering during the course of your marriage. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
A couple of things I don't understand. How long have you been married?
3 years.
And you have 2 children.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are expecting a third.
Yes.
Mr. Thomas says that none of those children are his.
Correct, Your Honor.
And how old is the oldest child?
She'll be 3 in November.
So that you're married 3 years, you have 2.5 children.
Mm-hmm.
None of them are his.
Mm-hmm.
How can you claim that he harassed you?
Because, Your Honor, when we got married, he knew full well that I was pregnant. He said he would accept the responsibilities of being a father to my child.
He said that in his answer.
And when we got married, shortly after we got married, things started changing. He changed and started acting, differently than what he had said he was going to do. And he left and said he had wanted a divorce. And that put stress on my body and on me, and going through a pregnancy, as you know, is very stressful anyway. And when he left, that put stress on me. I went into premature labor with my daughter. She was born at 36 weeks.
Okay, but she's fine and healthy now, is that right?
She's fine and healthy.
Okay.
Now, when I was pregnant with my second child, he came back and said he wanted to work things out, and we got back together.
Did you tell him that the second child wasn't his?
Yes, ma'am. He knew that it was my son was not his.
The second child?
Yes.
Well, how did that come about? How long were you separated?
We were separated for about 7 or 8 months. And then...
and how pregnant were you when he decided that he wanted to come back?
When he decided to come back, I was like 6.5, maybe 7 months pregnant.
So right away you went out and found somebody else?
No, it wasn't.
Well,
that.
I'm not really good at math. Bert can attest to that.
Yeah.
But if you were 6.5 months pregnant and you were separated for 7 months, it didn't take you long to find a substitute for him.
No, ma'am, it didn't.
So then what happened?
And then when he decided he wanted to come back, he wanted to get back together with me, I said yes, and we got back together, and everything was fine.
What happened to the father of this child?
I left. Me and him had broken up.
And then what happened?
During my pregnancy, during the end of my pregnancy with Mario, when I was pregnant with him, he said that he would take care of the child. That's why my son is named after him. He's a junior. He signed my son's birth certificate and everything. And
sounds like a nice guy.
Yes, he seemed to be a nice guy, Your Honor. But
yeah.
Things started changing again.
Like what?
He started started going over to his sister's house. I didn't, have a problem with him visiting his sister and everything, but he would be gone 4 and 5 days at a time and wouldn't even call to say, how you doing or anything. He would just be gone.
So that's the emotional stress that you're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. And then, my son has a problem. He has asthma. He had a problem with his lungs when he was born by me going into labor at 34 weeks when he left me the second time.
So then he left you the second time. And how long were you separated the second time?
We were separated for about 9 months, 9.5 months.
And how pregnant are you now?
I'm 8 months pregnant.
Is that the stress that you're suing for? His leaving you?
Yes, ma'am. When he left me in a financial buying as well as emotional buying also, because we were together and we had bills, like for different bills, like furniture bills and stuff like that. When he left, I had to pay those.
Who has the furniture?
I do.
Now, what are these credit card bills that you're talking about?
Some credit cards that I had gotten, and I had charged some things for him while we were together. Different.
Like what?
Some stuff for his, he has a keyboard, different things for his keyboard and clothing or something.
How much did you charge for him?
$7.
I want to see proof of that.
I have a credit card statement here. It has the balance out that I have been paying on from Sears. That I have here. It has the balance. I just wanted him to pay half of it.
Well, I don't.
You know.
He's not responsible for the whole balance.
I know half of the balance, Your Honor.
Well, what items are on there?
This credit card statement here does not have the items that are on it. It just has the complete balance that I owe on the bill.
Well, I can't. That's not proof, madam, of anything. I don't know when you made those purchases. I don't know what those purchases were. You say that they were solely for him.
Yes, most of the purchases were.
First you said some, then you said most.
Majority of the purchases were for him.
Well, then you should have brought me the bill that says this is what the items were. You must have that bill.
Yes, I did, but I didn't bring that on. Van Bar was the one that had the total amount due.
Did you ever charge anything on her Sears card, sir?
I didn't know she had one, ma'am.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He plays with women's mind and their emotions and everything because he thinks he's a pretty boy, that's all.
And later today,
You put any kind of schmutz you want in the washer and dryer and then expect her to take it back.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Danielle Thomas is suing her husband Mario for pain and suffering because he left her to raise their 3 kids on her own. Mario says he doesn't believe the children are his and feels he owes her nothing.
Now, I want you to be honest with me. Did you ever charge anything on her Sears card, sir?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Okay. Do you pay any support for her?
No, ma'am.
What about child support? Are you seeking child support from him?
No, ma'am, I am not. Not at this time.
At any time?
No, ma'am.
Not so sure about that. How do you support yourself?
I have, I'm on aid from my state. It's called AFDC for my children.
Mm-hmm. You living with the father of this baby that you're going to have?
No, ma'am, I have my own apartment.
Who is the father of this baby that you're going to have?
Brian.
What does he do for a living?
He works at Sharp, and he works at Federal Express.
And who's the father of your second child?
Moses.
Does he pay any support for the child?
It will be starting in 3 months.
But so far he hasn't paid
No,
any
ma'am.
support. And the father of your first child?
Raymond, he...
Does he pay support for the child?
No, not through the court system. No, he doesn't. But he does give her money, and he buys her things, things that she needs.
You have anything you want to tell me, sir?
Yes. A lot of things she said about me changing, that's not true, Your Honor. When in the beginning, she told me she was raped. And I had no problem with that. I mean, I could accept it, and because I felt she was being honest with me. And about 2.5 months later, or you know, after everything was rolling all good, it just kept coming back to me because of the way she said it. That it happened in her house and everybody was asleep. And I had already talked to her brother. And her brother had told me that the guy Raymond, she already liked him and was flirting around with him anyway.
So the person that you told you raped her was somebody that you now believe she just went to bed with?
Yes, ma'am, because she admitted to it. When I
When
finally...
you confronted her with it?
Yes, ma'am.
So that was just a story that she had been raped?
Yes, ma'am.
So that made you mad?
Hurt and mad at the same time. And what made it so bad is when I asked her, she laughed like it was a joke. And I didn't really know how to say, well, this is over or anything like that. So I took some time and went to my sister's house. And she already didn't like me going to my sister's house anyway.
Okay, but you went to your sister's house really to escape a little bit and to think?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How old are you, sir?
24.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at Baskin-Robbins and I'm a part-time model.
How old are you?
21.
All right, Miss Thomas. You get lecture number 307. Officer Byrd is familiar with this lecture. It's unfortunately one that I have given before. You're 21 years old, going to have 3 children by 3 different fathers, none of whom support their children. Those children are being supported by me and the rest of the taxpayers in this country. You've acted wholly irresponsibly in your life with regard to that, wholly irresponsibly to your children. Not easy growing up as one of 3 children, and each one has a different father. Father's Day in your house, you're going to need a revolving door to set up the visitation. That's immature, irresponsible, and very stupid. Now, I don't know where you get the best word that I can think of is chutzpah, which means nerve, to come into court and sue him for mental and emotional stress. I haven't heard, madam, that he's caused you any mental or emotional stress. As a matter of fact, I think based upon what you've told me and what he's told me, he exercised a great deal of restraint by just walking out of the house and going to his sister's house. As far as these credit card bills that you're talking about, you have produced no proof that is satisfactory to me that he owes you a penny. Nothing. Truth of the matter is, the only thing that's irritating is since you support yourself by welfare and you pay your Sears bill by welfare, I'm really paying the Sears bill. So that's irritating. That's irritating number 3. Your lawsuit is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Alphabetical to your right, please.
He would constantly keep calling and lying to me, saying he wanted to get back with me and everything. And, you know, it's just a bunch of mess. That's all it really was.
And now the next case.
Parties on Williams versus Brazil. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Adrienne Williams says when she was sharing a storage unit with her friend Melvin Brazil, he took her washer and dryer. Melvin says he was only borrowing the appliances and fully planned on returning them.
I love the way your mind works.
Thank you.
I'm not so sure you're right, but I love the way your mind works. You 2 people rented a storage space together. You had just been friends, is that right?
Yes.
You all put your stuff in the storage space. You, sir, sort of borrowed some of her stuff.
A couple items.
You want to tell me what you borrowed?
It was a washer and dryer.
And what did you do with the washer and dryer?
Well, I used it for a few months.
Did you ask her permission?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because I knew I wasn't going to be using it that long, but when I went to take it back, it wouldn't fit in the storage because there was stuff stacked up so high, so I had it took to a friend of mine's house that she knew. And it sat there for a while.
To make a long story short, you go there and find no washer dryer.
Right.
And you were closing out the storage space.
Yes.
So what did you do?
I packed up everything in the storage and took it back to Sacramento with me.
Including what?
Including all of his furniture.
Yes!
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
$5,000, so it must be a lot of stuff.
No,
right?
It's just expensive stuff.
You mean small and expensive, like me?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Melvin Brazil says he borrowed a brand new washer and dryer from Adrienne Williams without telling her. Now, Adrienne doesn't want them back. She wants a new washer and dryer.
You don't think she was wrong, do you?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because we already had arrangements made. She was supposed to contact me that morning, and I was going to get off, and I was going to help her move. I was going to tell her then where her washer and dryer was.
Oh, okay.
You mean you hadn't told her where her washer and dryer?
No, because I knew that she was going to get mad, and I was trying to save her that problem from knowing she was up there and I was down here.
You don't think she had a right to be mad?
This is the way I saw it. She has my pager number, my mother's number, everything. Instead of her just making a rash judgment, taking everything and just taking it back to Sacramento, all she had to do was call me and tell me.
Well, all you had to do was call her.
No, I was at work. I couldn't call her.
Did you let me finish? Don't interrupt me. It's not nice to interrupt a judge. You also, sir, could have called her and said, could I borrow your washer and dryer?
Right, you're right.
Why do you think she should call you and say, what did you do with my washer and dryer, when you didn't have the decency to call her and say, can I borrow your washer and dryer?
Is that a question? You telling me it don't sound like a question.
Anyway, Miss Williams, you don't want that washer and dryer back.
Well, apparently he sold it, so I couldn't have it back if I wanted it back.
Did you sell it?
The washer and dryer sat at my mother's house for 4 months. She could have had that washer and dryer anytime she wanted it.
She said, I don't want it anymore, just like I would say I didn't want it anymore because you don't know what's been washed in that washer and dryer. She had a washer and dryer that she used for her lingerie, for her underwear, for her sheets and her towels. She knew what went in that washer and dryer. You put any kind of schmutz you want in the washer and dryer and then expect her to take it back after you've stored it, used it. So you sold it. Now you got to pay for it. How old was the washer and dryer?
I bought it in August, and I put it in storage in March, so less than a year old.
And how much did you pay for it?
Approximately $860. I have the receipt here.
Could you give me the exact amount, please?
$823.31.
Now, the rest of what you're suing him for is because he didn't pay for the storage fees, his
Yes.
half of the storage fees. How much were the storage fees a month?
The storage fees were $48 a month.
And how many times did you make the payments of $24 a month, sir?
I paid the last $80 for her to get the stuff out of there.
How many months was
Once.
your stuff in storage, sir?
How many months was my stuff in storage? 4 months.
How many months was his stuff in
Okay.
storage?
His stuff was in storage the majority of the time I had the storage.
No.
We agreed to pay half of the
No.
storage cost, period. We agreed to get a storage big enough to hold both of our things. Why would I get a storage big enough to hold 2 apartments worth of things if I was only going to put 1 apartment
How
worth of
many
things in?
months storage did you
I
pay
had it
for?
for 16 months.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I say so. My stuff was only in there for about 4 months.
What difference does it make if you agreed to rent the storage space with her
But my
and she
stuff
took?
wasn't
I'm
in there at the
speaking. And she took a storage space big enough to accommodate your stuff, which you say is worth $5,000. So it must be a lot of stuff.
No,
right?
it's just expensive stuff.
You mean small and expensive, like me?
Yeah.
16 months, and you paid once?
My stuff wasn't in there 16 months.
Doesn't make any difference.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
All right, listen to me. You owe her $1183.31 for the storage and her washer and dryer. Okay. Your account is suing up for $5,000 for the small yet expensive merchandise that you had stored in the storage. You want to tell me what that is?
It's a leather sectional that I had custom made. There's a marble coffee table and
Where are
an
the
end
bills?
table.
Where are your bills?
Rebuilt.
Your bills that you had custom made. If you had a leather sofa custom made, you had marble table custom made, I assume that in addition to standing there with your story, you have some proof to show me.
I didn't bring any
Why not?
because I didn't think it was going to be relevant. This stuff is, I've been had it for years. I don't have any receipts of it.
Well, if you've
I
had
paid
it for
cash.
years, then it's not worth what you paid for it. It
I
has a
say 4
depreciation.
years I had it. Her stuff was used when I had it. Her washer and dryer wasn't brand new.
You stole her washer and dryer.
I borrowed her washer
No,
and dryer.
you stole it.
I didn't steal it.
You stole
it. was
it.
there. She had access to it.
You stole it. You stole her washer and dryer without her permission and never returned it to her.
I tried to return it to her. She wouldn't come get it. It was at my
Do you
mom's
have-
house.
What'd you do with his stuff?
It's still in my garage in the same spot it's been in the day I brought it home.
You have no problem with him getting a large truck and coming to pick up his stuff?
I do. I'd rather deliver it to him. I don't want him at my house.
Oh, that's fine. You sure you want to do that?
Yes.
That was the agreement that
Very
was from the
good.
gate.
Very good. She's going to return your stuff to you, sir.
Your Honor,
And you,
can I say
sir, are going to pay her $1,183.31. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in that amount. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back.
Judge
to your
Judy
right.
continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
It should have been in the storage where I left it.
Man, all you had to do was call me.
All you had to do was leave it where it was.
It wouldn't go back in there. That's what I'm telling you.
It
I
went in
opened
there
up
when
the
I put
door.
it in there, and it should have been in there when I went to go
Well,
get it
that's
out.
what you said. I told you I was wrong for that.
Okay.
Didn't I? But
Now you understand how wrong. I don't have furniture to give people to borrow. I work for a living just like everybody else. I use the things that I buy for me.
Uncontrollable.
Beverly was the ultimate sporting mom, walls full of trophies, and a mouth that the league couldn't take anymore.
You had a fight with the person who runs the league.
They even banned her sons from the game.
They were discriminated against because he didn't want...
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Sherman, I've read your complaint. You are suing the defendant for $5,000 for discrimination, stress, mental anguish, because he won't let your two sons play in his football league. Right?
That is correct. My two sons and my daughter, who's a cheerleader, and my niece.
Well, let's not talk about your niece. I'm not interested in your niece.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about your daughter, who's a cheerleader. That's not part of your lawsuit. Let's talk about your two sons. You believe that it is actionable, which means that you have a cause of action against this man for the things that I've just outlined, because he, and I believe you run this football league,
That's correct. I founded it.
won't let your boys play.
Exactly.
Why won't he let your boys play? Do you know?
Well, Mr. Holland seemed to have a personal vendetta against me for an incident that happened earlier before the season actually got started.
What was the incident?
Well, the incident happened where I was the uniform coordinator.
Uniform coordinator for the team?
For the organization.
Okay.
Okay. I coordinated the accessories and things for the football players, the team moms, the team managers, the coordinators, and everyone involved in the
So you were in
organization.
charge of uniform accessories?
Exactly.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. So what happened?
The incident happened where I ordered gold socks to accommodate the colors or whatever in the uniforms, and Mr. Hollins wanted blue socks. And the incident just got blown out of proportion. He, just really, never let me live it down, and he's just been
So
real
you ordered
hard
color
on me.
socks that he didn't, just a minute, let me understand this. You ordered a color socks that he didn't like. You had an argument about that.
A big argument.
And after that, what happened?
After that, everything I have done for the organization, he has just, looked down upon me. He's criticized me. He's just, nothing I can do for the organization is to his liking, everything,
And your boys had played in the league before, in his league before?
This was the start of this organization.
I know, but did they play for a season with his group?
Yes. This was their first year.
And they did play?
Yes.
So your complaint is that they weren't invited back for year two?
Exactly.
You want to say something to me?
Yes. That incident that she described was only one of many incidents. The incident that actually brought the last blow was at a meeting on February 28th of '97. We're supposed to have been just a general business meeting, and Mrs. Sherman became unhappy with the agenda and stormed out. So when the board met and discussed the year of events from August, from the incident with the socks, there was an incident on, I believe that was Wednesday, September 3rd, after a high school game. She had verbal confrontation with our cheer coordinator, which she was kicking the lady's vehicle, slamming her door, and this was done in front of several of the high school faculty. And it was
what was that incident about?
It was about a list of names that she was demanding from our cheer coordinator that she did not feel that was produced in a timely manner.
I didn't demand anything, and I'm sure if I was kicking and doing this to this lady's car, in which it was a brand new car, I'm sure I'd be in court right now with her for a lawsuit.
So what you're saying is
I did not do that to the lady.
You didn't assault her car?
No, I did not. We had verbal words.
Well, I'm beginning to get the gist of this. So your board decided that they didn't want her to be the uniform coordinator anymore.
Well, just not the uniform coordinator, just through her conduct and her actions throughout the entire course of the year, which I have here the flow chart for the organization. Even with the incident that involved myself and Mrs. Sherman.
Over the socks?
Yes, it was really an ugly event, and there were several other events. As her acting as the uniform coordinator, there were numerous...
Listen, Mr. Hollins, you have a right to say, if you have a board,
yes,
I don't want this person involved. All I asked you was, did your board decide that they
Yes,
didn't
they did.
want Miss Sherman to be the uniform coordinator anymore?
And to not invite her back, yes.
And not invite her back in what capacity?
Any involvement, and it was basically not wanting her to even return to the organization simply because of her conduct.
Okay. Now, what did that have to do with her boys?
Well, the boys are in her family. It wasn't that we were banishing the boys, but it was just that we preferred that she did not return with her family because of her conduct. And it was brought to our attention, well, do you think it's possible that she can come and just participate, you know, and support her children? And we said, well, yeah, but it's a concern with the other parents, other board members, that her having nothing to do would just give her more ample time to just be more of a disturbance.
Well, Mrs. Sherman, your problem, madam, is that you have to have a legally actionable case. Mr. Hollins is not legally obligated to accept any boy or girl on his team. I'm sure that a lot of people try out for the team that aren't accepted. Is that right?
That's correct.
Exactly, but what he is doing is trying to keep my children from participating in his program because he doesn't personally like me.
So what?
In which
but Mrs. Sherman, that may sound unfair to your children, but let us assume the following.
It's unfair, period, in life.
It's unfair in life.
It's discrimination.
You know, if he auditions, what do? You audition people for your team?
Tryouts.
Tryouts. Let's say he has tryouts for his football league, and 50 kids come and try out, and he only accepts...
It's 33 per team.
33 kids.
Exactly.
You're going to have 17, right?
That's right, 17.
17 children who are going to be disappointed. If I permitted your lawsuit, madam, that would mean that the families of those 17 kids who were not asked or invited onto the team could have a cause of action for discrimination, mental stress on themselves, mental stress on their children. Nobody would be involved with coaching a team anymore. Nobody would be involved in starting a team.
this isn't the case.
That's not the case.
This is not the case.
Of course it's the case.
It's not. They didn't
Just
even
as-
get an opportunity.
Listen to me. They don't have to be given an opportunity.
They do, according to the bylaws of King Conference.
Yeah, he doesn't own this
He doesn't
organization.
own
This is
the
a
whole
public
organization.
organization.
Just a second. This isn't a public organization.
It is
It's
so.
a public
Just a second.
organization.
Just
It
a
is
second.
so.
That's just
How
like
is-
saying a black person couldn't go to a white something.
Please,
a white
Mr.
person
Sherman,
could-
don't bring
it's
black and white into this.
discrimination.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay, Well,
it's
how
about
many
color.
how many children in this league are black?
Almost the
95%.
entire
So
league.
then stop talking discrimination.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with discrimination.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He has an ego problem, a control problem, and he just does not take constructive criticism from a woman well.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Football Junior League Director Lester Hollins says he had to ban Beverly Sherman and her sons from the league because she was too much to deal with.
It has to do, Mrs. Sherman, with the fact that he had an altercation with you, and according to him, the board decided that they didn't want you to be involved anymore.
That's fine.
Which is
That's fine. And they would prefer, for the sake of all the other children, not to have you involved because, according to him, and I'll let him go on and tell me what the incidents were that he says. We had one incident where he says that you kicked the car. You had another incident where you had a verbal altercation with him. I mean, I feel sorry for your boys, but you have to understand that not every wrong is legally actionable. Not every wrong results in coming to a court. Sometimes if something like this happens, you have to say to your boys, which you did according to your papers, listen, guys, there is another football league, and you have to be involved with that one because I don't get along with Hollins, I don't get along with this whole organization. There is another place for your boys to play football.
So
Sure.
why do they have to be made to go somewhere else when they haven't done anything?
caused any
They haven't
problem.
done
Life's
anything.
tough.
I haven't done
Miss Sherman,
anything.
listen to me.
Sure.
You're not following me. I said it's sad. I said it's unfortunate. I said it's probably unfair to the boys that they can't play. All of those things.
I got two
What I'm
different
saying to you
understandings of
is, it is not legally actionable. Because if it was legally actionable for you, that it would be legally actionable, courts would have to open their doors to the other 17 boys who tried out for that team and who, for one reason or another, were rejected. And it may have been unfair. He may not have liked them because they were too tall, too short, too fat, too thin. He needed a tall one. This was a short one. Whatever reason. He wanted this cheerleader because she was prettier than that cheerleader. He wanted this cheerleader because she was taller than that cheerleader. If I allowed your kind of lawsuit, our courts would be flooded with this kind of case. And we can't have that because not every wrong is subject to a legal redress. It's as simple as that. It's sad. But your boys can play football. They weren't discriminated against because of their race, because of their ethnicity, because of anything else. They were discriminated against, if you can use that term, because he didn't want to look at you during the course of the season.
Not a problem, because I don't
That's
want to look
it.
at him either.
He didn't want to.
So you're
I ask a
saying
question?
that he can make people come and go in this organization as he chooses.
That's absolutely right.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And later today,
Tell them about that you was a prostitute and how you was a good actress because you had to fake for your tricks. You had to fake for your
She
for
only
the
steals
police.
from rich people and whores.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Football Junior League Director Lester Hollins says he had to ban Beverly Sherman and her sons from the league because she was too much to deal with.
You don't seem to understand. It's
don't think
sad,
you got
but
it.
I'm going to say it one more time. Every disappointment does not result in a lawsuit for stress. Right? Your boys have the opportunity to play at another football league where not only they will be welcome, but hopefully the two of you will be welcome. Welcome to participate, welcome to get involved. I would suggest that you use your energies towards more productive things rather than negative things. They are not welcome because you, madam, are not welcome. And the fact that you are fighting here in court about this instead of moving on and getting your boys involved in another football league where you and your boys and your son will all be welcome is a big mistake.
We've already done that.
Good. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. I'll be back with you, right?
The children suffer because of the parents' behavior.
He can't even come out the courtroom
the
and tell
behavior
the
of the
truth.
parents.
I mean,
is
that's a
why,
shame.
you know, we
That's
just
a
do not
shame.
permit the family in itself.
Parties on Humphreys versus Stewart. Step forward, please.
Company manager Ernestine Humphreys claims her niece, 33-year-old Yolanda Stewart, stole $1,000 of her company's cash.
Ms. Humphreys, the
Yes,
defendant is your niece.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your complaint, you are accusing your niece of stealing $1,000 of business money.
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Well, tell me why you think she took this money and how.
I represent a company in Detroit, and I am responsible for making the deposits, weekly deposits. On Tuesday, May the 6th, I was in my office. I had balanced the manager's sheet, counted the money, and I had $7,200 on my desk. My
In
niece,
cash?
Yes, in cash. Already wrapped and counted.
What kind of business is this?
Coin laundries.
A coin laundry, so they collect all the money and then you make a deposit of cash.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there was a knock on the door, and the employee was in the bathroom. So I opened the door. It was my niece. She works down at the next light. And I thought she just saw my car and came by to say hi and whatever. During the time that she was there, I turned and walked away to use the telephone. And when I came back, she suddenly was in a hurry to go. And a couple of days later, the corporate headquarters in Toledo informed me that my bag was missing a roll of tens, 100 tens, which was $1,000. And they didn't understand why this happened. They wanted to know if I had someone helping me count the money, because all of the years that I've worked for this company, that has never, ever happened.
Well, how many people touch this money after you count it and prepare a deposit?
I give it to the owner's son, David, and he takes it and gives it to his father, the owner of the company, and he makes the deposit.
So at least 2 other people touch that bag before it gets to a bank.
Right, but the owner has 26 stores. He's a multimillionaire, and his son is very wealthy. I don't think they need $1,000.
Did you take this money?
No. And second of all, she did not walk away and use the phone. She asked me to walk away and call my sister to see what time my sister and her daughter were coming to Detroit. We both walked to the phone, which I did that, and my sister was not there. We left a message on her machine. And then I said, well, I have to go. I was at work. I seen her car like I always do. I stopped in and say, hey, how you doing? We both talked. The money was on the table. And I talked to her briefly, and then I said, well, I got to get back to the store. I left nobody in charge. I said, I'm going down to Highland Park, and then I'm going back to my store. She said, oh, thanks for coming and all that. She walked me out to my car. I don't know, she came out the second door, and she watched me as I got in my car, and she was talking to me. And this right here is what I had on. I had no jacket. I had no purse, nowhere where I could have stuck $1,000. The day before that, she told me she needed some money. I said, well, I don't have any money. She told me that the day before. And also the day before, I helped her count this money. She paid me $50 out the money for helping her count it, which it wasn't my first time helping her count the money at all. And then after that, she said, she came to me about a few days later. She said, I went to the meeting in Toledo. She was nervous. She came up to my job. She said, they said I'm missing a bundle of tens. And she said, from the house. I said, well, it couldn't have been missing from your house. When I stopped at your laundromat, I said, you were just now writing it on the sheet. She said, oh, you're right. And then after that, that's when I heard it happened at the laundromat, which she never left me, in which her office has a lock on it. So why would she ever say, she could have just asked me to step out and let the door lock.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Let me tell you this.
Yes, Your Honor.
You really do not have any proof that Miss Stewart took this money.
No, it's just circumstantial.
And you understand that it's really unfair for any court to convict someone. And in effect, I would be convicting her of being a thief if I were to grant you this $1,000 judgment that you're after.
I understand.
Especially since there were other people who had their hands on that money. I just think it's so sad that you had a lovely relationship, according to your papers, before this happened, and that you make this accusation without any real proof to back it up.
Your Honor, she was the only one in the office that day while the money was on the desk.
Money.
And
you needed money.
Well, shh.
Order. I did not.
No, don't talk.
I did not need any money.
Listen to me.
No, I did not.
Listen to me. You may have needed money.
No, I did not.
She may have needed money. Bottom line is, in a court, you have to deal with proof. And there were other people who touched that money after you counted it, prepared a deposit, and gave it to the owner's son. You don't know who the owner's son gave it to. He may have let somebody else.
He gave it to his father.
Well, but you don't know that. Hey, do I look like I need help?
Okay, I'm just helping you out.
You don't know that. It may have gone from his hand to 2 or 3 other people's before it ended up in the bank. So I cannot award you the judgment that you're requesting. I just, again, find it very sad that 2 people who had been very close to each other, clearly, are now not. I think maybe you should apologize to her for letting this thing go this far. Anyway, this case is dismissed. Thank you.
Parties are excused. May step out.
And on the next Judge Judy.
God is the final judge, and he sits high and looks low, and he saw what she did, and she knows what she did, and she will be judged for it in a higher court.
Tell them about the robbery that you staged in Cleveland. Tell them that. Tell them about that you was a prostitute and how you was a good actress because you had to fake for your tricks. You had to fake for your
she only steals from rich people and whores.
Okay, well, you was a whore.
She could be very dangerous.
I give less than a hell about her. From now on, I don't know her.
The only way that she can ever get a man is by buying men. She used it and gave it to her modern-day pimp man.
That's why it went on like it did, because I prayed to God to let the truth be told. So it happened.
The truth hasn't been told.
It happened. It hasn't been told. It happened. And she right. God the final witness. He's the final witness. He probably strike her down dead tomorrow.
said he was going to take her with him.
His dad fell into deep depression when his parents' 43-year-old marriage came apart, so he removed the hunting guns from the house.
Do you think your son loves you?
I don't know.
So if he were the one who returned these guns to you, and you used one of these guns either to harm yourself or to harm his mother, his life's over.
This is case number 460 on the calendar in the matter of Dersawa versus Dersawa. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Are you Mrs. Dersawa?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Dersawa, do you think your son loves you?
I don't know.
Let me tell you what he says. Your papers indicate that your son removed some guns from your house that were your guns.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Your son says that he removed the guns from your house because he was concerned about you and concerned for his mother.
Yes.
Do you think he had reason to be concerned?
Yes, I certainly do.
Why were you concerned about your father's safety and your mother's safety?
Both of them. There have been very violent fights between the two of them, several 911 calls. My father had 2 strokes. My mom had 1. During that time, there were 3 suicide attempts by my father. I had just learned of it, that that's what the events were on the 3rd one, and I removed the guns at that time. After I removed the guns, a 4th attempt was made, where he attempted also to take my mom with him, as he put it.
How?
She went to make a 911 call because she found him in the car. He had stabbed himself in the arm. And this was on my birthday. And she went to make the 911 call, and he grabbed her, put her on the ground, throttled her throat, and said he was going to take her with him.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 3.5 years ago.
And your parents are separated
Yes.
since?
During that time is when he asked for the weapons back, was right when they started separation. And I asked him, I said, Dad, I don't want to give them back to you. What do you need them for? And he said that he needed them for the money. I told him I would be glad to purchase them from him at that time. He said he was not interested in me having the firearms and was going to do anything he could to get me free of them.
Mr. Dersawa,
Yes.
Senior, is everything that your son says so far accurate?
Yes, it is.
Don't you think he did the smart thing by removing the guns?
Yes, I certainly do think that he did the right thing, and I thanked him very much for taking on the responsibility of removing the guns from the house.
But what do you want now, sir?
I asked for the guns to be returned to me.
Why do you
And
need...
he refused to return the guns to me, and I told him at that time that they were my personal property. They did not belong to him or anybody else except me, and that I wanted them back.
What do you want them for?
I originally wanted them back to hang on the wall as mementos of my childhood. And since then, I was flexible and had second thoughts, and I thought, jeepers, I'm in fairly good health, I'm in good frame of mind, and there's no reason why I should not have the guns. And I told him to return them to me. They are my personal property, and when I thanked you for them, that didn't mean that you could keep them for the rest of your life. They are mine, and I want them, and I want you to return them to me. And if you don't return them to me, I am going to take you to court. If it costs me a lot of money in attorney's fees, I am going to expect you to reimburse me the attorney fees that it cost me to get the guns back. And he didn't listen to me, I don't think.
He seems like a pretty responsible young man that you raised, and a very nice young man. You ever had any difficulty with him before? Huh?
Yes, many times.
As an adult. Sir,
Yeah.
how old are you?
I'm 42 years old,
Married or single?
married.
You have children?
No.
Are you employed?
Yes.
What kind of-
Self-employed. I'm a photographer and hairstylist.
You remain close with your mother?
Yes.
Is that right?
I would like to say one thing, that it seems to me when my husband is angry at me, he tries to take it out on him because he knows how close we are.
How many children do you have?
I have two, Tim and Max Dursaway.
Are you the older brother?
Yes.
Where are the guns now?
The guns are at a friend of the family's house.
You put a value in your complaint on these guns of $500.
Yes.
None of us live forever, Mr. Dershowitz. What did you suppose would happen to these guns when you were no longer here?
I really couldn't care less.
Well, that's a good attitude. I mean, it really is a good attitude.
I hope they're safe, and I hope that if anybody does get them, that they are in as good a shape as I believe that they are at the present time.
Did you at one time have issued against you by any court an order of protection or a restraining order with regard to your wife?
Yes.
And when was that?
Most of last year. At the same time that he requested the guns back from me.
Okay. Does anybody have a copy of this restraining order?
I do.
May I see it, please? How long were you and your wife married?
It'll be 43 years, I can tell you, June 10th, this year. And I'm still going to be married on June 10th, if I'm alive.
Have there been divorce proceedings filed?
No, we both agreed to a separation. However, we agreed to a separation a long time ago, and she decided, for some reason or another, that she would make it legal and go through the legal procedures of getting a separation. So she hired an attorney, and then I hired an attorney to protect my rights, because at that time she told me that she was going to take everything she could get.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
We're family. We don't need to go to court over this. All you have to do is tell me what you want, and I'll cut you a check.
And later today,
Your son was acting like an idiot. Your son was acting like a fool.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Max Dershowitz is suing his son Max Jr. for the attorney fees he spent to get his guns back. Max Jr. had the guns removed for fear of his father causing harm.
Are you living alone now, sir?
Yes.
Do you see your other son? Do you visit with your other son?
Well, when I get an opportunity.
Where does he live?
He lives in Riverside.
That's not so far away. You have grandchildren?
Yes, 2 grandchildren.
Do you visit with them?
Yes, usually they come down to the house where I'm living, and it's so short visit, I hardly even know that they've been there.
Mr. Dershowitz, I am, quite frankly, sir, sympathetic with your position to this extent. What you're saying to me is, I'm a grown-up, I'm an adult, I have all my faculties about me, and I don't want my children to start to make decisions for me about what's good and what's bad. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, perfect.
On the other side of that coin, sir, I am really most sympathetic with your son. Because if he were the one who returned these guns to you, and you used one of these guns either to harm yourself or to harm his mother, his life's over. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
His life is over.
Yes.
And I don't think any parent would want that for their child. I mean, if you came here, Mr. Dershowitz, and said to me, I've never done anything to suggest to my son that I would harm myself or harm his mother, and he really has no basis to be concerned about these guns that are mine, I would feel very differently, sir. But that's not the case. You have attached a financial amount of money in your lawsuit.
Yes.
You are suing for money. And I will feel more comfortable. So put the burden on me so that maybe you can make friends with your son again. I am going to give you a judgment for the money. And I am going to direct you, sir, to ensure that these guns, which are mementos of your father's history, you know, He's had them in his family for years. I don't know whether your brother has sons who might be interested in having these hunting rifles at some point in their lives. But he would, despite the fact that he says he doesn't care what happens to him when he's gone, I think he would probably like to know that they remain in his family, for whatever reason.
Yes.
Fine. So I'm going to give you, sir, a judgment for the exact amount that you are requesting, and you keep the gun safe. Got it?
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Please excuse you. May step out. Here you are, sir. Back to your right, please.
We're family. We don't need to go to court over this. All you have to do is tell me what you want, and I'll cut you a check.
And now the next case.
Bodies on Smith versus Brown. Step forward, please.
Walter Smith and his 15-year-old son, Brian Davis, say Joseph Brown's 16-year-old son, Joe Jr., poured bleach on their carpet. Joe Jr. says Brian threatened him with a snake.
You the one with the snake?
Yes.
Up here. You the one with the bleach?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Up here. And you are the fathers of these two geniuses.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your first name?
Brian.
Brian, tell me what you did to this young man with your snake.
Well, we were out.
No, over here.
We were out in front of the houses, and I had a snake, and I went like this, like I was gonna put it on him.
What kind of snake did you have?
A red-tailed boa, just a little snake about this big.
Well, you said this big, and then you
Well,
said this
about
big.
like-
Is it
about
growing?
this big.
About this big.
Yeah, about this big.
And what, you made believe you were going to put it on him?
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I was just messing around.
And then what happened?
And then he threw like a icy or a Slurpee or something, I don't know what you call it, threw it on me. And then I went back towards my house and put the snake in the garage and got a cup of water and went back outside to throw it on him. And when I got out there, he had a cup in his hand, and he said, if you throw that on me, I'm gonna throw this on you. And it was bleach in a little cup.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I did is I pushed it out of his hand and threw the water on him and started going home. And then he came out of his house afterwards with a whole gallon of bleach. When I got into my house, I shut my door and he started to pour it on my back, and it got all over the carpet. And then my mom started coming downstairs, and then he went back home.
Your side.
Well, it was me, him, and a couple of other people. We were supposed to be going to the bowling alley. But instead, the dude that was supposed to be driving us said that he didn't want to go. So what we did instead is we stood outside and talked. He had his snake. This snake, I don't know what kind of snake it was, this big snake. The snake is hissing and snapping and jumping up. They thought it was funny. He turned the snake on me. So I said, get the snake away from me. I guess he didn't want to listen. Then I had went in the house and I came out with my soda. And he was like, what's in your cup? What's in your cup? And I was like, soda, right? And he knocked the cup out of my hand, threw something on me. I looked down at my clothes. My jeans and my shirt were starting to fade, so I assumed it was bleach because it was a yellowish color when he threw it out at me. I went in my house, got a thing of bleach, and came out, and I ran after him because he was running towards his house. He ran in his house. We ran in a complete circle around the kitchen and all the way to the thing. He turned around, and he tackled me. And I had the bleach in my hand. We were on the ground, and the bleach was going everywhere. His moms had just came down when we was on the ground. I didn't go in the house and throw any bleach anywhere.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
We might have resolved the matter, but he was adamant about having my son arrested.
Your son's the one that came into my home. You should have came over. You knew what he did.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Walter Smith and his 15-year-old son, Brian Davis, say Joseph Brown's 16-year-old son, Joe Jr., poured bleach on their carpet. Joe Jr. says Brian threatened him with a snake.
Why does your son have a boa?
He likes snakes. It's out in the garage. They keep it in an aquarium out in the garage.
He didn't keep it in the aquarium.
No, that day he had it out. But the account of the story, what he's saying, based on
Were you home?
Sean. No.
Were you home?
No, ma'am, I wasn't.
You don't know what happened.
Just from my little son that witnessed it, Sean. He saw the whole thing happen. It didn't happen like he's saying it happened at all.
Sean
Well,
wasn't even out.
Listen to me. Sit there. I don't want to get him involved, sir. Your son was acting like an idiot. Your son was acting like a fool.
I agree.
You think that his father should pay for all the damage to your rug?
Yes, I think he should. His father's responsible for Joseph's actions since he's a minor. And he broke into our home, and we had nothing to do with it.
No, he didn't break into your home.
I broke into your home?
Hey!
He came through our front door when it was closed and came in and poured bleach all over my son and the carpet of my home.
Who started it?
Well, that's two different stories, Your
No,
Honor.
no, he told me the story. Your son told me the story, Mr. Smith. I assume you believed your son was responsible enough to have possession of a snake. Not a little teeny garter snake, but a boa that's about so big. Then if you are not a snake lover, you a snake lover, Bird?
Not really, Judge.
You wouldn't like it if somebody fooling around came over to you and tried to put the boa around your shoulders or on you, which is what he did.
Your Honor, I wanted to say something that this matter, I thought maybe could have been resolved between me and the neighbor. When I came home that afternoon, I had left, and the neighbor told me that she had called the police that Joseph had spilled some bleach on the carpet and that Brian had threw water on Joseph. And she said the reason she called the police was that she didn't know what time I was getting home.
Why did you call the police? Who called the police?
I did.
Why?
When I got home from the doctor.
Why?
Because someone had came through my front door unannounced, uninvited, into my home, invaded my home, and dumped bleach all over my carpet.
Mr. Smith, didn't your son tell you that he and his friend were out there and they were fooling around and it got out of hand?
Yes.
Just a
yes,
second.
ma'am.
Just a second. So why would you call the police?
I just told you that, Your Honor. I told you why.
The incident was precipitated by a dumb thing that your son did. This was not a burglary in the middle of the night, sir. They had been friends, and he's a neighbor of yours. I don't understand why you called the
It was
police.
an invasion of my privacy. That's my home.
All
You
right.
know,
Mr. Smith, you're not willing to accept any responsibility for what your son did. How old are you?
16.
Let me see the bill for the carpet.
Your Honor, I was going to say that I thought maybe we could resolve it between as neighbors, but when they decided to press charges against my son for vandalism and assault.
Okay. The entire bill for this looks like $1,720. Is that right?
Plus 120 for my son's clothes that were completely destroyed by the bleach.
I don't care about your son's clothes. Your son started this whole problem.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
This act of lunacy was started by you and finished by you, right?
Right.
So each of you have to pay half. That sounds fair to me.
860, Judge.
You're way ahead of me, Bird. So, Mr. Smith, if you want to be fully compensated, then get your son to get a job and give you $860. And from these folks, I suggest you don't pay this for him. Let him pay for it. You know, let him do something to pay for it. Teach them all a good lesson. Right?
Right.
You feel any responsibility towards what happened?
Yeah, I feel responsible for what I did.
What about you?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Only problem is your father. He doesn't see it yet, but maybe he will. $860, which is 1/2 of the cost of the carpet. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
If they're messing around out front like kids will do, you know, I understand all that. Joseph come into my home and, you know, cause a lot of damage inside of my home. I did contact and speak with Joseph's father. He said that he didn't want to, he wasn't responsible, he wasn't
2
paying
weeks
any.
after the district attorney dropped the charges, that's when I spoke with him. We could have resolved the matter, but
Well,
he was adamant about having my son arrested.
Your son's the one that came into my home. You should have came over. You knew what he did.
She
wanted the child.
She didn't make the baby herself, right?
Kevin and Kelly fell in love and had a baby. When Kelly left him, she took the baby with her.
He's mentally and physically abusive, and I have proof of that.
Was he abusive according to you before you got pregnant?
No.
Was he abusive while you were pregnant?
A few times, yes.
The mother of his child, Kelly Holtman, for running out with their daughter and leaving their apartment bare.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Judges number 74 on the calendar in the matter of Osborne versus Holdman Chesmar. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
You're Mr. Chismar?
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat for a moment, sir, even though you're a co-defendant in this case.
Right.
My reading of these papers suggests that you're really not a party in interest to this. Mr. Osborne, I read your complaint, sir. You and the defendant were engaged for about 2.5 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
And during that engagement period, you had a child.
Yes, ma'am.
Sort of not the way things are supposed to happen, you know.
She'd asked me to marry her.
No.
She didn't make the baby
so.
herself, right?
Well, she wanted the...
Shh.
Order.
She wanted the child. I did not at the time. Because I didn't know about our relationship and trusting her.
Mr. Osborne.
Yes,
Shh. Engaged for 2.5 years, had a child. According to you, you were in jail for something. You'll tell me what in a minute. She moved out. When she moved out, she took $1,500 worth of your personal property.
And my child.
And your child.
No.
So, what were you in jail for?
I had a warrant for $100 owed to Burbank Court. And I had gotten in a fight with a friend over buying a car. We were wrestling in the driveway. The neighbors had called the police. They asked me if I had any warrants. I told them yes. And they took me in on that, and that only.
Why didn't you take care of these warrants?
Because we had moved in together and got a 1-bedroom, and it was the expense of the child and all that. I couldn't afford it at all. I was trying to make a life for us and
Shh,
pay
stop it.
utilities.
You're making me cry. What were the warrants for, sir? Warrants for parking tickets, driving while under the influence,
No,
speeding.
driving on a suspended license. I had done the time for it, but I owed court assessment, $100.
And how long were you in jail?
10 days.
And what happened while you were in jail?
In that time, she had taken my stuff, her stuff, and my child, and left the state.
Ms. Holdman, first, why don't you tell me why you left while he was in jail?
Well, first of all, we had a 3-day notice because Mr. Osborne did not get a job, and I could not pay rent and bills on my own.
Were you working?
No, I am disabled.
What's the nature of your disability?
Epilepsy.
So you received a disability check for yourself and the child?
No, at the time I was not receiving disability yet. I was on AFDC.
Okay. AFDC was paying the rent, so why did you get a notice to leave?
Because I could not afford the full amount
were
of rent.
behind.
And I could not afford the full amount of rent, and I could not afford all the bills. Mr. Osborne had run up phone bills that I have, and he did not give any part of his to help pay for bills or rent.
So you decided to leave. There had to be more than that.
No, ma'am. We got the pay or quit before he went to jail, and he knew that we had to move.
Is that the pay or quit notice?
Yes, I
May
have
I
two
see
of
it,
them.
please?
They only
Okay.
asked for $50 to continue the rent. They made a deal with us.
You decided to move out. I have a feeling that there was more to the reason that you moved out, moved far away than just this pay and quit notice. But you left. Now, the question is, did you take any of his property with you?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Now, he's suing for $1,500. What property do you say she took?
She took dishes, clothes,
Just a
her
minute.
king-size bed that she had loaned us.
Just a second. Hold on. Let's go slowly, Mr. Osborne. Let's start with the bed.
Right.
The bed wasn't yours.
No.
Good. So let's forget
But
the
Lorraine
bed.
wants it back.
Just a
It
second.
was a
That's
loan.
her problem. I'm talking about you. She's not a co-plaintiff. You. What stuff did she take of yours?
She took ultrasound photos of the child and everything I had of the child.
Not everything. I want to hear, sir, what she took. Ultrasound photos of the child.
Yes, ma'am.
What else?
She took all my clothes.
Clothes. You say she took your clothes?
Yes.
What else did she take?
There was a fish tank, equipment, a little miniature pool table that I had for Brandy.
What else?
She had taken all my dishes.
Dishes?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of dishes, sir? Limoges?
Plates, cups, glasses.
What else? That's not...
Everything in the apartment.
Miss...
Everything in mine that I had.
Mr. Osborne?
Yes, ma'am.
This is not why you're here, sir.
No, I'm here because of Brandy.
No, this is not why you're here, because this is a lot of baloney.
It is. And I don't care about the material things.
Because you're suing her for $1,500, but so far, you haven't given me $15 worth of stuff.
I have all kinds of things that went of value. I had 4 suits in there that were $600 each. I had all my clothes. That adds
Are
up.
you telling me you spent $600 a piece on 4 suits? You
Yes,
must have some good job.
And if you, yes, I did.
Why would I have any use for your suits anyways?
Listen
why
to me.
would I take
I don't
Sir,
know why. You,
Mr. Osborne, you're not here because of this
I'm
property,
here because of
sir.
Brandy. I could care less about my stuff, material things.
Well, what do you
if
want?
I win, I'm going to use that to get visitation. She will not let me see my child, and she says, take me to
I tried to
court.
let you see your kid.
Just a second. So she says in her answer to your complaint that this is all about getting some money so that you can hire a lawyer, so that you can sue her in whatever the domestic relations or family court is in
Visitation,
your
that's
jurisdiction.
all.
Is that why you're here, sir?
Yes,
to get
ma'am,
money
it is.
so that you
Yes,
can hire a lawyer?
Yes, I was hoping to see my child today, and she's not.
That's why you're here?
Yes.
To get money for a lawyer?
Yes.
This is not a proper forum for you, sir, to abuse the system, to come to court for that reason.
No, I also, I need some clothes, something to wear.
Did you take any of his clothes?
No, Your Honor, I did
now,
not.
You're a co-defendant. Stand up, sir. You're suing him because why?
He was a party of taking my stuff. He helped her move out.
How do you know
He's
that?
a witness of all.
Just a second. How do you know that?
She had told me, and
Who
there's
told you?
another.
Who told you?
Who told me? John Brown, another friend of Lorraine's, who was told her Lorraine that he had helped her
Can't
move
hear all
out.
that. I mean, it's a court, sir. Did you help her move when she left?
The only thing I moved out of there, I didn't move anything personally, ma'am. I had just had back surgery, so I wasn't lifting or doing any of that. They had brought out a dresser, the king-size bed, 2 dressers, and that was it. That's all I hauled.
You didn't haul that yourself.
No, ma'am.
What about her clothes? What about her stuff?
I didn't haul any of that.
Do I look like I need help? What does that have to do with you, her clothes?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Kelly and I were.
When I
you
get to that
shut your
house,
mouth.
go ahead, hit me, and I'll put a lawsuit against you.
Yeah, I'll bet you will.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 26-year-old Kevin Osborne is suing the mother of his child, Kelly Holman, for running out with their daughter and leaving their apartment bare.
You had somebody, according to these papers that I have, come in and take out your things.
A
You had
friend, the most expensive stuff. My
You
tools.
had a friend come in and take out
Right,
some things.
Your Honor, I don't know who took my stuff.
Mr.
I don't know if it was
Osborne,
my friend.
Did
if
you
it was
just
the-
say to me that you had your friend come in and take out the most expensive things, your tools?
Yes, because that's what I did for a living.
Well, then it's not logical, Mr. Osborne, for the defendant to have taken suits which she can hardly use and left the most expensive thing
She does it to-
with the tools. I mean, if she was going to take something to sell them, certainly it would have been far smarter for her to take the tools, which she probably could have sold.
She plays games, and she takes it just to
I-
when I get out of jail, so I have nothing.
So
she wants
far,
to ruin
Mr.
me.
Osborne, the one who's playing a game is you, who's playing a game with a court.
No, ma'am. No,
with
ma'am.
a court, because you're not here because of the things she allegedly took from your apartment.
Yes, I am.
Your problem, the two of you, is that you made a baby and you had no right to make a baby until you had made a life together. That's what you did. That's a
why
mistake.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's a
That's
mistake.
why I wanted to wait to have
I
a
want
child.
to tell you something. I would run away from you too, sir. You don't know how to be quiet. I mean, there's something very controlling about your manner. What I'm telling you is you made a baby, you had no business making a baby, but now baby has 2 parents. So I assume that eventually a judge is going to hear this case. I assume you've been legally declared the father of this child, sir, is that right?
No, not legally, but it's in the birth certificate.
That's not legally. Well, if you... What?
That's all I
Another
have.
reason
I don't
why
have the
left
money to
him-
do a DNA
Another
test.
reason why I left him also is because he's mentally and physically abusive, and I have proof of that. I have permanent scars on my body that I'll I've never asked him for a penny. He's lived off of me all his life since we got
I want to pay
together.
child support. She won't even let me pay child support.
Then that was very bad judgment on your part.
Yes, it was. And
especially if you have a disability. That's very bad judgment on your part to live
Yes,
with
ma'am.
somebody who is abusive. Clearly, this was not a relationship that was destined to go on for 25 years. Unfortunately, you made this child, and the child has 2 parents. All I want to know, sir, is you don't need $1,500, which is what you're suing for, to go into court and file a petition asking legally to be declared the father of this child. Once you're legally declared to be the father of this child, along with that comes certain rights. One of the rights is to have a regular time to see your daughter. Regular. That's what's supposed to happen. It's not supposed to be a controlling situation so that you call whenever you want to see the child.
I realize
because
that,
clearly that's not going to work here. So you're going to have somebody else set up a schedule for you. But you have to go into court to do that. Are you still receiving AFDC?
Yes, ma'am, just for the child, and I'm receiving disability for myself.
Well, if she's receiving AFDC
Your
for the
Honor?
child,
Your Honor, when she was living with me, in all the places that she was living, she was getting AFDC and welfare and saying that she was living at their house. That's perjury. That is lying to the social service who I'm talking to now on fraud, welfare fraud.
I don't think
She
so.
notified welfare when she moved.
let me tell you something.
She
sir.
worked with my mother. I moved her in when I first met her to take care of nurse and take care of my mom and maid. And she did not claim that she was living there earning money.
Yes,
Lorraine
I
is
did.
the
I told the
Lorraine is the
welfare
witness.
office.
Is all that Kelly, her granddaughter, has done to me. I'm living with Lorraine now. We were supposed
First
to
of
get
all,
married.
she's not my legal grandmother.
No, but she took custody of Kelly when she was 12 years old.
No, she did not. I ran away to her when I was 12.
Listen, I'm really not interested in going back to the flood, sir. What I'm telling you is, and I don't mean to be hard on you, I really don't mean to be hard on you, but this is the mother of your child. You're not supposed to put her in jeopardy. By what you just said to me now, you have placed her in jeopardy. Why would you want to do that?
Because she is not she's not a fit mother, that's why.
And like you're a fit father.
I have witnesses that she was
Well, listen,
at
you
a bar drunk, it's staggering, and she's supposed to be a mother of my child.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did I ever hit you?
Yeah, what the hell is this?
Oh, no.
What is
You were
this?
drunk.
Yeah, I was
I
drunk.
pushed you. Did I hit you?
I was
No.
drunk. Yeah.
And later today,
Do you really believe in this position that you've taken for me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, and let me tell you where you're all wet.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
I would hope that whatever judge hears your case and hears your petition for paternity and custody or visitation, whatever you will be seeking, does a full forensic examination, that is a full psychiatric and psychological evaluation of both of you. And I would assume that once those forensics are done, if they are done by a qualified person, the judge will have all the information that he or she needs to make an appropriate order for custody or visitation. My case here is a very simple one. You have not established to my satisfaction that she took anything from this apartment that belonged to you, and I am dismissing your lawsuit. With the proviso, sir, that if you want visitation, and not just to be tootin', you go into court yourself, you don't need a lawyer, you petition the court to be legally declared the father of this child. They will immediately make an order of support so that I, the taxpayer, don't have to support your child, which I am doing now. I am doing now.
She won't let me pay child support.
Just a second.
She wants
I
to
don't want
keep
you-
collecting
just a second.
AFDC and get my child away from me.
Listen to me. Judge, listen to me, Judge. Full forensic examinations before you make any order. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
She keeps their marriage going, and she's told me some of the things that she does with them.
He's jealous.
He's jealous of the relationship
Maybe because
that we
he has
have.
to sit in his bedroom with his mags.
Parties on Young versus Cornelius. Step forward, please.
Financial controller Lucinda Young says she loaned Aaron Cornelius money and even adjusted his tax deductions because she felt sorry for him, but he won't pay her back.
Ms. Young, I gather that you work in the accounting department where the defendant works as an employee. Is that correct?
I'm the controller.
According to your complaints, he came to you and asked to borrow $168. That was a personal loan. You gave him $168. He hadn't paid you back.
Right.
Is that it?
That's it.
You say it has nothing to do with a personal loan.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Well, let's hear what your defense is.
My defense is that she had told me that the government was taking too much money away from me on each paycheck, that she can correct that by blocking my taxes for periods of time.
What do you mean blocking your taxes?
Basically where the money comes to me now instead of at the end of the year.
So she was going to add more deductions for you. Is that what you're saying? Claim that as a result of that, it cost you some money.
That's correct.
How much money did it cost you?
Approximately almost $500 at the end of the year that I ended up owing due to this block.
It's not a block. It's just changing the number of deductions.
Changing the number of deductions, yes.
Well, let me ask you, sir, how did you come to ask her, how did she come to give you this $168?
And you know, it was hurting me financially, and she had offered to help. And she said she had wrote me out a check for $168, and I said thank you. And I didn't assume that it was a loan due to the fact that it was her negligence that brought me to this point anyway.
Now you want to tell me your version of how this came about?
Well, Aaron came into my office and said, I've been making payments. His tax return, I assume, was filed on time in April. He said, I owe $168, or they're going to garnish me. Well, we don't like garnishments where I work because they cause a little extra work for all of us. And, you know, I've known Aaron for as long as he's worked at the company. And I said, Aaron, how much is it? How much do you need to not be garnished? He said, $168. I said, okay, I'll write you a check. Pay me back when you can. Here's $168. The garnishment came through next week, the following week. I said, what'd you do with the money? But obviously that's history now. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay, but you said to him, here's the $168, pay me back when you can.
He offered to sign a note. In fact, that was the first thing he said before I even offered to give him the money. He said, I'm happy to sign a note, whatever it takes, but I need this money now. I said, you don't need to sign a note. I know.
Excuse me?
Do you really believe in this position that you've taken before me?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Well, then let me tell you where you're all wet.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
She explained to you, if I believe what you say, that if you took, let's say, 4 deductions, you would get more in your salary each week, and it would probably be a wash with regard to taxes. You wouldn't have to pay any taxes, and you would end up with more dollars in your hand, correct?
That's correct.
All right. So what happened was, you still got more dollars. She didn't get any gain out of this, you did. If she put more deductions, that means you got more money in your paycheck each week. Why should she have to pay for that? She didn't write a company check, she wrote her own personal check. You still got the money.
Okay.
Now, did you go to her office and say, if I don't send them $168, they're going to garnish my salary?
That's correct.
And did she say to you, I'll give you the $168 because we don't like that to happen, you'll give it back to me when you can?
She had said to assist me, yes.
Hmm?
She did say she would assist me, yes.
You left out the last part, Mr.
That's
Cornelius.
correct, because I don't recall that part.
Well, she recalls it, and it sounds very logical to
Well,
me.
I have it in an email here that he intended to pay me back.
Because you kept hounding me about it, and I was going to try to
just a
square it away.
second. Did you put it in a letter to her that you were going to pay her back?
Yeah, because she kept
Good.
hounding me about it.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $168. Thank you. That's
Parties
all.
are excused. You may step out the back door to your right.
On the next Judge Judy.
I told him $28 a paycheck, 6 paychecks. He won't owe me any more money. You know, I honestly think that if Aaron had it in his pocket and it was spare money he didn't know what to do with, I think he would have given it back to me. But I don't think he has any spare money. I don't think he's had any spare money for a while.
I've never been so scared in my life.
A girl called Missy through a birthday bash, but when a fight broke out, this guest kicked down her door.
I'd do it 100 times. I'd kick 10 doors in.
Matt ended up getting knocked out. Chris came running over, turned to me and said, call 911.
Your Honor, I...
Shut up!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Listen, when it looks as if you're winning, you're supposed to know the defendant. You had a birthday party. You say he broke your door, the door to your house. Tell me about it.
I had a birthday party, a dual fiesta party. It was...
What is that? What's a dual fiesta party?
Meaning two people threw it. My friend and I threw it.
For yourselves?
Yes, for ourselves. It wasn't just a regular party. We rented a tent, we had a band, we had an open bar, food. Chris was one of the guests. He came, he brought his brother Matt, which is the witness, and his younger brother, and his younger brother's friend. The whole party went on throughout the night. I guess one of the younger brother's friends got in a fight with another person at the party. Matt ended up coming over to break up the fight. Matt ended up getting knocked out. Chris came running over, saw Matt knocked out, turned to me and said, call 911. And I looked over at Matt. I did not see him in the shape of 911 emergency. And I said,
What do
no.
you mean you didn't see him in the shape of 911 emergency?
He was getting up. He was standing up.
But he had been knocked to the ground?
I believe so.
What do you mean you believe so? If he was getting up, he had to be on the ground.
Well, yeah, he was getting up off the ground.
Right. So his brother came over and said, call 911.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone had just assaulted his younger brother.
Yes.
And what did you do?
I said, why don't you take him to the hospital that's about a mile down the street? Chris ignored me, went over to my front door, kicked down my front door, went in, called 911, came back out, grabbed his brother's friends, whom, by the way, were underage, the people that he brought to the party, and was allowing them to drink.
No, you were allowing them to drink. If it was
Well, I
in your
didn't know
house.
who they were. Chris brought them. They were actually uninvited guests.
Then you should have told them to leave.
I didn't know. There was a lot of people at the party. Chris ended up leaving the party before 911 had got there. 911 arrived. I had to explain to 911 why there was no victim on the scene. They were telling me they were going to charge me and they would let it go this time. Chris came over the next day with Matt to pick up a friend of theirs that spent the night and still had not gone to the hospital. Matt was saying, oh, you know, I'm hurt and all this stuff. It still had not gone to the hospital. So to go on with the story, so then I said to Chris agreed, you know, they kicked down the door and that he would fix it.
Why was the door locked?
Because we had people going around to the side door because we had carpeting. We had people going through where there was linoleum.
Okay, so, if they had to use any of the parts of the house, like the bathroom, they went go around the side of the house.
We had signs saying bathroom this way.
So, is how she related the story pretty much the way it happened?
Well, it's colorful, but it's highly inaccurate.
I'm here to listen.
Boy, I don't know where to begin. I saw my brother...
Don't begin at the flood. Just begin at the time you saw your brother assaulted.
I saw my brother assaulted out of the corner of my eye, and he was hit in the head with the gentleman's fist, and then kicked in the head.
You mean when he was down?
When he was down, he was kicked in the head. In fact, he had a CAT scan. I mean, he was unconscious for what I considered a long period of time.
Even a minute is a lot.
I ran over to him. Miss LaBeouf, like she said, was there. I did ask her to call 911. She said, just give him a minute, he'll be fine. And he was unconscious, completely unconscious. I asked her again to call 911. She would do nothing, so I ran to the front door, which was the closest door to where the incident took place, and it was locked. And I kicked the door in, and I dialed 911. And I have a police report here that documents exactly what I did.
Why didn't you wait for the police, sir?
When I came back to my brother, Missy was still there. He slowly regained consciousness, and I asked him, I said, Matt, what can I do for you? I mean, I've never been so scared in my life. I mean, and he said, just get me out of here, just get me out of here. We didn't know who this guy was. We'd never met him. We'd never even seen him. We didn't know if he had 10 friends there.
You're Matt.
Yes.
Step up, sir. How did this incident begin?
Well, after I was assaulted, I really, don't have much recollection of what happened.
Immediately
But okay,
before.
I was talking to one of my friends who was also a guest at the party, and like Missy said, there had been an altercation earlier in the night with this young man that was at the party, and I remember that they had exchanged words, and there was a fight ready to be broken out. So I turned around with actually like this, because I was talking to another young lady, and I said, "Excuse me," and I said, "You know what? We don't want to fight." I said, "We're here for a birthday party. No one wants to fight." I turned my head, and the next thing I knew it, he hit me right in the head. I fell to the ground, shaking like this. I tried to get up like this, and I turned my head, and he booted me right in the face, and out I went. And after that, that's really what happened. Since February 28th, there's been a Class 1 felony assault with a deadly weapon out for this gentleman's arrest.
What they're forgetting to tell you also is Chris was allegedly trying to blackmail me to find out this person's name for him, or else he said he wouldn't fix my door.
Would seem to me that since this incident occurred in your home and one of your invited guests was assaulted, you would want to be as cooperative as possible and find out the name of the person.
Yeah.
Why did it require this kind of blackmail in order to get you to get out there and get this name for them?
It didn't require anything. They were making a mountain out of a molehill out of this whole situation.
That's not a mountain out of a molehill, madam.
He could have been killed.
I want to explain something to you. If somebody had come up to you, just you, at your birthday party, punched you in the face, and then kicked you in the head, I guarantee you, you wouldn't be standing there saying to me, he's making a mountain out of a molehill.
Your Honor,
Shut!
Oh, I'm sorry.
Listen, when it looks as if you're winning, you're supposed to shut up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The whole thing is they were drinking all night long. It was 2:30 in the morning, and they really didn't know what they were doing.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chris Corlett says that he had no choice but to kick Missy LaBeouf's door down at Missy's party.
Miss LaBeouf, I have a couple of questions for you. My sense is that I'm not getting a full story from you with regard to his condition at the time he asked you to call 911. Because common sense would tell me that you were having a birthday party, and the prospect of having the police arrive because of an emergency was not something that you relished. So I doubt whether he was as in good shape as you suggest he was when this young man asked you to call 911.
No, that had nothing to do with it. The party, it was 2:30 already. The party had been going all night long. I cared more about my friend. I've known Matt since 8th grade. I went to homecoming with him my freshman year.
So why didn't you just go inside and call 911?
I would have, but Chris was completely irate and drunk and overreacting. If Chris said, "Missy, go in and call 911," and I looked over and I saw Matt in a completely knocked out condition, I would have. Matt was getting up. First of all, you can ask my witness.
He said that he was punched in the face and kicked in the head, and he has no recollection of anything after that.
Then why did Matt go to the hospital that night is what I want to know.
When did you go to the hospital, sir?
I went to the hospital the next morning, right after I left Missy's house. First I went to the hospital, and then I went over to the sheriff's station, and I filed a report. And my doctor in urgent care in Glendale said that I was very, very lucky to be alive.
Don't tell me what your doctor said.
I'm just...
But that's when you went to the doctor the next day. Ms. LaBeouf, don't you believe you have any responsibility towards his injuries?
No, because I don't feel that I started the fight.
The fight, it took place in your home. Took place in your home.
You know who started the fight? The minors that they brought to the party.
When you have a party in your home, you almost act as an insurer for the guests. You understand that?
Yes.
Well, you know, I assume that you haven't sued Miss LaBeouf for the injuries that you sustained.
Not yet, Your Honor.
Well, how do you feel about this door?
You know, as Missy said, initially I felt badly about the door. We have been friends for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then, as I had time to think about it, I thought, why am I fixing this door? I did what I would have done the same for you or her or anyone else. And if it had been Missy who had been laying in the bushes and I'd kicked the front door in to call 911, there's no way she would have sued me. If I'd been at someone else's house, and I had no choice to do it, and if I had it to do over again, I'd do it 100 times. I'd kick 10 doors in. That's what I had to do. Ethically and morally, if not legally, I felt I was obligated to do it. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know, when someone has head trauma, you don't know how serious it is. And he was knocked completely unconscious.
And later today,
That's not my problem. That's your problem. I went to where I was supposed to go.
real cases, real people, Judge Judy. Chris Corlett says that he had no choice but to kick Missy LaBeouf's door down at Missy's party.
This young man is going to have a coronary unless he comes up and tells me what he has to say. I see him out of the corner of my eye. I assume you have something germane to say to me, sir. Do you?
Sure.
Sure. You better be.
Well,
Your name first.
My name's Ed.
Ed what?
Witness. Ed Marchand. After Matt was assaulted, he was laying on the ground and he was attempting to get up. And Chris, being an older brother, was concerned, and rightfully so. And I was right there with him when he called 911. I was going to go and assist him to do that. I almost went to grab him, and I almost was struck in the face when he went to kick the door with the back of his foot. It was right there, and I couldn't believe it. He actually managed to kick the door down in one kick.
Did you witness this assault, sir?
I didn't actually see him getting struck in the head, but I was less than 10, 15 feet away.
But you saw him on the ground.
I saw him on the ground.
And you saw his brother upset.
Yes.
And you heard his brother, defendant, ask Miss LaBeouf to call 911.
Yes.
And she did not go.
She did not go. I offered to
She did not go.
She did not go.
He was standing with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked the host of the party to please go and call the police because his brother had just been assaulted, correct?
Right.
The host did not call, correct?
Correct.
This case is dismissed. Thank you.
All right, sir, excuse me. Step out.
No.
I'll back go to your right, please.
He made hostile phone calls. He was rude. He was mean.
Well, I never made phone calls. You guys called me.
Yeah. With Chris, no. I never really had any respect for him, and everybody in our town doesn't anymore because of this case.
Party's on Westlock versus Gimbalane. Step forward, please.
21-year-old Andrew Westlock put bail up for his friend DeEtte Gimberlin in St. Paul, Minnesota. Now he's suing her because she didn't show up at the court and he lost the money.
All right, you're tooling down the road in New Mexico with some friends in a car, correct?
No, Marshall, Minnesota.
Marshall, Minnesota. How did I get that wrong? Let's see your papers. Well, okay. Marshall, Minnesota. And you get pulled over for speeding. Neither one of you were driving, correct? You're passengers in the car.
Yep.
Policeman tells you all to step outside, takes identification from everybody, and you had an outstanding warrant.
Yes.
For what?
Theft by check. That's what they told me, which was the first I ever heard of it.
I doubt that.
No, seriously. And if I had a warrant, then they would have came and picked me up a long time ago.
There's a warrant outstanding for your arrest.
Right.
You were a nice guy. What did you do?
Well, she got taken to jail, and then the next morning I signed for her to get out of jail on a bail bonds.
And did you have to put up any money?
It was, she had the money. She gave it to me
Paid
before
my
she
own
went.
money.
She
Can't
paid.
hear
She
two
gave me.
people.
She gave me the $130-some that I had to pay to get her out the next day.
Okay, so you went to the bail bondsman,
Correct.
gave the bail bondsman $130.
Correct.
She got out of jail,
Correct.
and she was given a date to appear in court.
Correct.
Right? And what was the date you were supposed to appear on the warrant, madam?
Well, he's just telling me this morning that I had to appear in Marshall, Minnesota. But why would I appear in Marshall, Minnesota? My theft by check had nothing to do with Marshall, Minnesota. So they gave me a court date in Minnesota, which was in Minnetonka, where my court date was, and that's what I did. I went to the court date they gave me, which is right here on this piece of paper. If you'd like to show her. And that was my first appearance. So I went to court like they asked me, okay?
Okay, so you're saying you went to court.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you tell me what happened to you, because you're here.
I got a nice little nifty note saying that the defendant, DeEtte, did not show up, and we were supposed to appear July 18th, 1996 in Ramsey County Court to deal with this bail issue.
I don't know what about her
Because
issues.
the bail bondsman said
He wants his money.
he wants his money because she didn't appear where she was supposed to, even though she may have misunderstood where she was supposed to appear. Anyway, you got stuck with how much money?
$1,193.06.
Tell me how that happened. You went to court?
Yeah, and I didn't have enough money to pay the bail bondsman up front, so we decided on a
No,
little...
tell me what happened when you went to court. I'm really curious. You went to court and said what?
Well, all I could say is I have to pay it because she never showed up. That's all I could do.
No, just a second. Did you try to contact her when you were notified that she didn't appear on this case that she had, and you were going to be stuck for this $1,193.06? 6 cents?
I asked her if she'd pay me, and she said she would, and I ain't seen a dime.
Can I say something now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, he never contacted me.
Mary.
His mother contacted me and called me all kinds of foul names, saying she was going to sue me and everything, so she should be here.
Miss
with me.
Kimberline, you're given a court date. You think that if you don't appear on that court date, they send you a second invite? The answer to that is yes or no. They don't send you a second invite.
They didn't send me a first invite.
They don't have to send you a first
Then how do
invitation.
I know to go?
Because you're given the date when you are released.
Right, and it was for Ridgedale Court, not Ramsey County Court.
Good. The court made a mistake. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
The court made a mistake.
Yes.
Why should he have to deal with that?
He should be calling, like I said, why can't we call and get this cleared up? I went to court the date they gave me when I was
get it cleared up.
Listen, ma'am. Ma'am, listen. The date they gave me, if you give me back that piece of paper, I'll tell you the date that they gave me when I was released in Marshall, Minnesota. I only received one date. It's on that paper, and I went to the court.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's an innocent bystander to this whole problem. He got stuck with this bill. If it was a mistake, it's a mistake that you, not him, have to deal with. Why should he have to go back to court and spend time and effort? There was no warrant outstanding for his arrest.
Right, and I
Only
agree
yours.
with that. I agree with that, but if
Yeah,
I wouldn't
right.
have been called and call all kinds of filthy names while they're trying to make me call and find out what the problem was, I would have did it no problem. But his mother called day after day, was very rude and cursed me out, called me filthy names. No, I'm not going to do nothing
Well,
for
Miss
her.
Kimberlane, let me ask you this question. The first time his mother called you, did you say, oh, listen to me? Did you say, oh, I'm really sorry, that was really a mistake. I was supposed to be there. I will immediately, first thing tomorrow, get on the stick and go and find out what happened because you surely shouldn't be out this money? Or did you say something like this? That's not my problem, that's your problem. I went to where I was supposed to go. What did you say to his mother when she
I
called?
asked the lady, well, what do you mean, why didn't I go to court? I said, I did go to court. She said, well, you didn't go to court on the 18th. I said, well, I don't have a court date for the 18th. And that's as far as it got. Then she got nasty, I got nasty.
No, just a second. Just a second. Did you say to her, well, there must be some sort of a problem, and I will take care of it because your son certainly shouldn't be out this money. He wasn't at fault. The court may have been at fault. Maybe I was at fault. I will certainly take care of it. Did you say that?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, that's what you should have said, so I can understand it if his mother got really annoyed. Because this young man is a very mild-mannered young man. I'm surprised he's not here hooting and hollering. I mean, he went to court and he said, they said to him, you owe $1,100. And he said, okay, where do I pay? Give me a break. Give me a break. Listen to me. You get into high gear, take a couple of vitamins, get down to the court and try to work this out because it's going to cost you $1,193.06. That's what you owe him. And then you take care of your problem with the court because it's not his problem, it's yours. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,193.06. Thank you.
All right, as I excuse, you may step out. I'll back up to you.
And on the next Judge Judy.
If they would have said that, I would have went. But they never, ever told me. Even the guy, we sat there and BS with us in that hotel room. If I was supposed to go back to court all the way to Marshall, Minnesota, then he should have told me that then while he was up in there trying to smoke up my cigarettes and be my friend. So forget it. It's done and over with.
I hear you.
একটা মধ্যবিত্ত ঘরের ছেলে চাইলে সব কিছু করতে পারে। Scanlock on the beat. Hey, 500 টাকায় কিনি প্যান্ট আর 300 টাকায় কিনি শার্ট, প্রায় 200 টাকার জুতোটা পরে করবো আমি ঠাটবাট। 1000 রুপিস মে হিরো, আমার সামনে তোরা বিগ জিরো। আমি মধ্যবিত্ত, আমার এটাই কনফিডেন্স, আমি খুব প্রিয়। ফোনেতে সিম কার্ড জিও, ছেড়ে চলে গেছো তুমিও। কন্ট্যাক্ট লিস্টে 1000 প্লাস, তাও বন্ধু নেই একটিও। স্ট্রাগল কে বানাই বেস্ট ফ্রেন্ড, মেহনত কে বানাই গার্লফ্রেন্ড। আমি মধ্যবিত্ত আজ ঠিক, তবে একদিন হয়ে দেখা পুই ট্রেন্ড। মেরা जूता नहीं जापानी, फिर भी करता मैं मस्तानी। सर पे सस्ता वाला टोपी, लेकिन दिल मेरा हिंदुस्तानी। मेरा जूता नहीं जापानी, फिर भी करता मैं मस्तानी। सर पे सस्ता वाला टोपी, लेकिन दिल मेरा हिंदुस्तानी। Middle class boy, middle class boy, middle class boy, I'm the middle class, middle class, middle class boy, middle class boy, middle class boy, middle class boy, I'm the middle class, middle class, middle class boy. মিডল ক্লাস করে ছেলে, তাই বুকেতে অনেক কষ্ট জমা রেখে তাও করিনি ভাই নষ্ট। It's my talent, my dream, ambition. I know that properly well, how can handle any condition. It's my talent, my dream, ambition. I know that properly well, how can handle any condition. কিসের এত ভাই লজ্জা, হ্যাঁ কিসের এত ভাই লজ্জা। যারা পিছন থেকে করে চর্চা, তারা দেয় কি এত কোনো খরচা। হার মানতে কখনো শিখিনি, হাল ছাড়তে কখনো আমি চাইনি। সিচুয়েশন যাই হোক না কেন, স্বপ্নটাকে মারিনি। মেরা জুতা নেই জাপানি, फिर भी करता मैं मस्तानी। सर पे सस्ता वाला टोपी, लेकिन दिल मेरा हिंदुस्तानी। मेरा जूता नहीं जापानी, फिर भी करता मैं मस्तानी। सर पे सस्ता वाला टोपी, लेकिन दिल मेरा हिंदुस्तानी। Middle class boy, middle class boy, middle class boy, I'm the middle class, middle class, middle class boy, middle class boy, middle class boy, middle class boy, I'm the middle class, middle class, middle class boy. এই গানটা আমার সেই সমস্ত মিডল ক্লাস ভাইদের জন্য যারা দিন রাত মেহনত করছো, স্ট্রাগল করছো। চালিয়ে যাও বস, সফলতা আসবেই। পিস আউট।